Qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $300 on select equipment. Now through March 1st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Log on or give us a call today at whitesfarmsupply.com.
White's Farm Supply.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Now, the Grammys were last night, and you got a chance to see Hannah Montana nude.
What?
Or at least pretty close to nude.
Oh,
that dress
yes.
she was wearing last night.
Miley, she's always been a fan of stretching the boundaries a little.
The problem is that it's Hannah Montana, not Miley Cyrus out there.
Really? What, she's got the blonde hair now?
No, it's just that's how I always knew her as my daughter's favorite Hannah Montana.
I know.
And then all of a sudden she's what's her name and Miley Cyrus, and she's practically nude, tattoos all over the place.
Yeah,
it's
and
crazy. Davey, you like that though?
I like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, he does.
She looked very attractive last night.
Any news on that big strip club closure in Syracuse? That was a big story, right?
No, not anymore.
That's going down, though, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Lookers is the name of the place. That's what she looked like she could be doing last night with that dress, if you saw it.
Yes.
Wow. But I thought, if you're into the current music, you watched it, right? You enjoyed it. It was better than watching Syracuse play.
Oh, Jesus. They look terrible.
That
on
was
Saturday.
horrible over the weekend.
Oh, absolutely debacle.
We'll get into that. Last night, Larry David returned at 10 p.m. with his show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is back. Andrew is back. We'll speak with him. He's on the phone. They lost his luggage on the cruise. He's very upset. Look at him over there. You can see him on YouTube. What happened to Syracuse? This is Judah Mintz probably had a shot of playing like European basketball or something. And now the way he's playing, I think he's got to come back another year.
Yeah, he needs to come back and play another year. This team looked horrible on Saturday.
The team looked terrible. Mintz doesn't look great.
Played just a minute.
Completely outplayed. Yeah.
And if they lose to Louisville on Wednesday, the season's done. Louisville is like the bottom tier of the ACC.
Well, I don't know how you see a path to the NCAA tournament right now.
They're not even going to get in, according to what I've seen. They're they're like low, and they got one quad victory.
While you were gone, Andrew, there's a strip club in Syracuse. It's closed down.
Which one?
Lookers, if you ever heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I know the one that was close to Lemoyne College was Paradise Found.
Oh, that's still open.
That's open. Yeah, that's open.
Yeah, no, you can't get lost looking for Paradise Found.
Right.
What about there was one that was named after our great restaurant. Was it Giorgio's? Was that a strip club?
Never heard of it.
No, it was the Alpine.
Yes.
The Alpine.
Great restaurant.
I could go through all of them.
Great
was it
restaurant.
Babes? No? That would have been a cool one, right?
That's actually, that would fit.
Speaking of Babes, I saw a good friend of ours yesterday while I was there.
Jim Rondinelli?
No.
Who'd you see?
Mr. Stone.
Okay,
Stoney.
Mr. Stoney, Jeff Stone. Okay. Anyway, what else do we have? And Andrew, back is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I am very excited about this.
We went to watch last night, and they're doing it the old-fashioned way. It debuts at 10.
Oh,
HBO.
yeah.
It won't stream until tomorrow.
So you have to watch it the night of, huh?
Yeah, and I don't even know that we have HBO.
You have.
I guess we do. As long as you have Max, you have HBO.
So will it be like the other streaming services, I'd imagine, where you would go on and you would see? So if you go to watch like a football game, a Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime, it would come up and it would say streaming now on now.
Yes.
That's probably how you have to do it.
But my wife got tied into the Grammys, and we were done then.
Oh,
yeah. Let's see. How was your trip, Andrew?
It was awesome. First cruise. Overall, I give it an A-.
It's kind of I like sea days.
Yeah, they're
where you're
fun.
out on the ocean and
the casino's open. Wah, wah.
Casino's open. You're out on the sea. Your wife can't take you on some excursion that you don't want to go on, and you are. Bars open. Food's aplenty.
It was funny,
and as long as you're out to sea, the casino's rolling.
Yeah, it was funny because all of my family I was with, well, soon to be family. This was all my fiance's mom, dad, brother, aunt, uncle, grandpa, and godmother. So we had a good time. They drank a lot. I didn't drink anything, obviously, because I don't. They had a lot of Heineken Zeros on the ship, which was
How did you handle that? You stopped drinking entirely about a year and a half ago.
2 years, a little more than
2 years ago. You stopped drinking, and you're probably better off than the rest of us.
Well, because where I make up for my drinking is in the eating department, and there's a lot of food available on the ship. So we did a lot of the specialty dining nights. Which is a little extra, but it's worth it.
Look at let me tell you something. If I have heard this once, I've heard it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. I stopped drinking, and I'm fat. People say it all the time.
Well, listen, it was 2 years ago, right? So I had my weight loss.
For the record, I don't think you're fat.
No, thank
you. If I did, I wouldn't tell you. So now you don't even know. You don't know what I think.
The mental anguish is awful.
I think that's a bad word, right? It's one of those words you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Although years ago, Frank McBride, if you remember Frank, who used to be on my
great
show.
Man, yeah.
Frank always said, we're the last of the people you can still make fun of. Fat people. And I don't think that's
not
true
true
today.
anymore. No, you can't.
You can't make fun of anyone. In fact, you can't even think about making fun of someone today because they say, I know what you're thinking.
I know what
and
you're
I'm
thinking.
Like, yes, but I didn't say it. And they say, but you're thinking it.
Exactly.
So now you're going to get canceled.
No, fat's not
don't
the word.
Even think it.
Fat's not the word, but weighing more than I've ever weighed before is the word.
I understand that. I am the pot calling the kettle fat. Listen to this story involving liquor, though. This is an amazing story. This is all of what you were told, and you tried to get it to happen as a kid, and it never happened. Davey, this is big. Sit down. Brace yourself. In Syracuse, a liquor store caught fire on Sunday. Did you see this story?
God. Yes, I saw that. And yes.
Did you see what caused the fire?
The alcohol.
It was the sun beaming in between the bottles, so going through the bottles and piercing its laser heat on cardboard packaging.
Wow.
The cardboard packaging caught on fire. This is absolutely true. And caused the fire in the store. No one would have known there was a fire except it got hot enough where the windows blew out and a burglar alarm went off.
Oh, my God.
Firefighters got there within about 10 minutes. They had the fire put out. It didn't get that bad, but there's a lot of damage, and it was caused by the sunshine.
So this is the anecdotal mean kid on an anthill with a magnifying glass.
Correct. And, think about it. How many times did you do something as a kid? You're like, this is going to work. It's going to work. And
I've actually done
it.
it
doesn't. You've made it?
I've made a leaf, a hole in a leaf with a magnifying glass.
Okay, well,
before.
Listen, I know that humans can be out there, and just the sun alone will fry us, right? Pretty badly. You didn't get much of a...
well, because the first half of the cruise was
all clouds.
and rain. So, yeah.
Well, it's what the
last day was nice.
But isn't it better though? Even though it's clouds and rain, it's what 75.
75, yeah.
You know,
it wasn't raining or it wasn't snowing and freezing. Correct.
How was the food on your cruise ship?
It was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good. Especially that specialty dining. You do all the restaurants are good. We rarely did the buffet, but there were a few really good restaurants. The seafood place on the ship was called Ocean Blue.
Oh, it was. That's cool.
So that was very good.
That's
and the
cool.
Le Bistro, the French restaurant, was good, and the the Mexican place.
So all
was
good
just
food.
Unbelievable.
And then you're eating out. You can eat at any time, and you get to the point where
Anywhere.
you're just sick of eating. Right? I can't wait to get home.
Well,
and get
not me, but that's my
real
problem.
food.
Yeah.
Listen, we had a situation very similar to this liquor store, where my wife had plastic candles on the dining room table.
Interesting.
And
like the holiday ones,
they were any time of the year candles.
Okay.
And they're the ones where on the bottom and they have the little switch.
Yeah,
and
got it.
And it looks like it's real. And it's plastic, made of plastic. So we came into the dining room to look, and the plastic candle had melted and kind of just drooped right over.
Okay. So
Right?
it got so hot it melted.
And it was the sun coming through the window that actually melted it sitting there on the dining room table.
That's unbelievable.
So you know how we fixed it? Prevented it from happening ever again? We put in the New York sash windows.
Yeah, I was going to say you called
Completely changes it. Mm-hmm. That's not why we did it. We were doing it anyway. But since that has happened, no candles have melted on the dining room table.
Thank God.
Because those windows have a filter that actually will block that heat out. You don't want things to heat up in the summertime, and you don't want the heat to get out in the wintertime. That's what the windows do. By the way, I don't think it's on my list today. Is New York Sash even on my list today? I don't think they are.
It's not. But
Today is the final day.
Today.
Today is the final day of buy two get one free. After this, that sale is over. Buy 2 New York Sash windows, get 1 free. Buy 10, Andrew, get
5
free.
So yeah,
There's no list. There's no limit to the savings. Anyway, at this liquor store in Syracuse, happened just before 10:30 a.m. The sunshine was coming in. We're so we're so unprepared for the sunshine, and that's what happened. Isn't that a crazy story?
Well, and the interesting thing is the power of the sun's rays is you wouldn't think with it being winter.
Right now we're in February.
Right.
You wouldn't think it would be strong enough, but it is. It is strong enough. What else that I wanted to hit on here this morning? Because there's a lot of it's a Monday, so there's a lot out there. I have a story that's mind-blowing that I'm going to get into in a little while. It is mind-blowing. I can't say anything yet, but let's see what happens.
Oh, you're waiting on the go-ahead, the green light?
I'm waiting on a green light.
Okay.
We'll speak with somebody from Fox, I believe. The Senate has put a deal together that the Speaker of the House says already is DOA. However, you have someone like Mitch McConnell saying this is a deal. This is legislation that we will not get passed if we have or when we have a Republican majority. This is something it is a compromise, but we should do it. That's Mitch McConnell. However, the deal is not going to fly, according to the Speaker of the House. We'll see where all of this goes as they try to negotiate. But it would mean instant action on the border. We'll see where it goes. Probably it will go nowhere. I know you're disappointed with the Super Bowl, but you will watch.
Yeah, of course I will. And I'll be rooting for it with a huge plug of the nose, the San Francisco 49ers.
I feel like the 49ers are I'm rooting for the 49ers. I could not root for Kansas City. In fact, it just sickens me to even see all the commercials about him. It's going to be worse than ever.
Yeah,
you won't be able to
Kelce.
escape. You won't. I'm okay with Kelce. You will not be able to escape Patrick Mahomes.
I don't. Honestly, I have a different opinion on him. I think he's a trash talker. I think his attitude
He is a
stinks.
trash talker.
And I think that things like drawing people,
He is
drawing
a loudmouth.
penalties on another player and then taunting them,
you.
you should get a taunting penalty for that.
Yeah, but if they don't catch you, you've just mastered it.
Good morning, W.
You've just mastered it.
And it's unrelated to the Taylor Swift thing. I never liked Kelce.
I thought Taylor Swift had a bad look last night. She won a Grammy and
announced the album.
She announced, this is my 13th Grammy. Well, blah blah blah. You know,
who cares?
I don't care. I'm so sick of you winning. That's how I feel. We have somebody in the building,
kind of like the Chiefs,
who wins, always wins the awards down the hallway, and it's rightfully. I mean, she earns every 100% bit of it. She kills everybody when it comes to this category in the building. And once I said it, I think she took it the wrong way, and I hope not, because I really meant it in a good way. I said, "Haven't you won enough?" What do you mean by that? And I'm like, well, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
but
you instantly regret it.
But I'm going to tell you, she's the Taylor Swift of our blogging world
she
here.
Is, I guess so.
Oh
my!
But
God.
Taylor Swift did not do well.
No.
She said, this is my 13th win. And then she announced an album coming out, a surprise album.
Yeah. She waited for the right time. Grammy time.
Anyway, one more thing. Jason Kelce, the brother of
Is
Travis,
he retiring or no?
I don't know yet. But he says that he is such a fan. This is kind of a neat story, Davey. He is such a fan of the Bills Mafia that apparently there's some poll going on who has the best team name or something. I don't know what it is. Stupid. But it's the Bills and the Chiefs going neck and neck. And he says if the Bills win, he will do a Bills flame table dive.
Ooh.
So you set the table on fire and you jump through it.
Yeah, he was.
He had a blast in Buffalo.
Yeah, feeling no pain in Buffalo.
Feeling no pain. Shirt comes off, feeling no pain whatsoever. We're going to be feeling no pain whatsoever this week with the weather. I'm going to tell you, it's a little chilly right now, but we'll warm up to 38, 39 degrees, I think, today. Same thing for tomorrow. 40s on Wednesday, and then we're going to hit 50 this week.
I can't believe it. I brought the warm.
By the way, I don't know if any of what I just told you is true.
It's going to be close.
But let me bring in the expert. Craig Flint, meteorologist from WUTR. Craig, is there any truth to what I just said?
There is.
Wow.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I thought it was just something I dreamed about last night.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a quiet week. And, yeah, by the end of the week, we should be near 50. So
how about that? Can I tell you that we finally got sunshine over the weekend? I felt like it was not overly warm over the weekend. We were in the 30s, but it just felt so nice to get outside. And just the sun alone makes it feel warmer.
Yeah, it helps your mood, right?
Yeah.
This is the time of the year, too, where a lot of people suffer from, what do they call it, seasonal depression.
Seasonal depression,
So even when it's cold out, if the sun's out, it just helps so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it just boosts your mood so much. So
well, and how about that story out of Syracuse where the liquor store caught on fire yesterday, and it was the sun coming through the window that ignited a cardboard display.
Wow!
Isn't that amazing?
Wow! I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah.
So that was that's probably because I'm out of town, but. What, it would act like a little magnifying glass, it did, huh?
It absolutely did. It's what we learned as kids, right? And it actually, according to firefighters, is what caused this fire yesterday at around 10:30 in the morning. And what we were talking about is I didn't realize the sun at this point in February is close enough where it's hot enough to do that, but the sun's pretty powerful.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I get what you're saying distance-wise, but we could still get sunburn in the wintertime. And in some cases it's worse because the snow, which we don't have any of, but the snow can be reflective, which makes it even worse. So yeah, the sun is a powerful thing. Solar physics, I took that once in college. It was a pretty wild class to take.
Yeah, wild. So. Rob says, now all that booze in the store needs to be destroyed. Can you say great fire sale? That's exactly right. That is true. We have better weather on the way this week. It looks nice. Maybe we're being set up for something bad. I don't know. But this looks pretty nice.
Yeah, no, let's enjoy this week. I will tell you this, regardless of what Phil says or, what we're going through this week, winter will be back.
Yeah,
winter will definitely be back here probably the end of the month, the way it looks right now. We had talked several weeks ago going into winter that I said this winter was going to act weird, right?
Yep, you did.
So this is going to be one of those weeks where it's beautiful. I mean, think about this, Keeler. Climatologically, and just in a normal winter, what it normally should be, we are at the coldest point. We should be cloudy. We should be cold. And it's not going to be the case this week.
Yeah.
So let's take this as a win because winter will be coming back, I think, by the end of the month for at least a little while.
Now, with the La Nina, is that where we are?
It's an El Nino.
Oh, man, I never get it right. Every single time.
You always mess up the pronouns.
Screw it up. With the El Nino, anything could happen, right? I mean, it could be a crazy snowy month for all we know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, El Ninos are weird, to say the least. I mean, things just act strange in El Nino. But I also, I know you and I have talked about this before. I am also, of the mind that things always average out, right? It's always a fairly good bet to think and kind of wrap your brain around. If this is how we're starting the month, we're probably not going to finish the month this way.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but yeah, that's where we're at. Beautiful week. I mean, I really have nothing to talk about, nothing of substance to add other than it's going to be sunny to mostly sunny the rest of the week. Temperatures in the upper 30s. And then eventually we'll get into the 40s to near 50. We do see some rain in the forecast here, or I do, as we get into Friday and into the weekend. But until then, let's enjoy.
Well, and then Friday, we go to 50, right? And it looks like rain. I mean, that'll feel like springtime on Friday. So
it will. It will. People will be in their shorts.
No doubt. All right, good stuff, Craig. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Meteorologist Craig Flint, and a mild week for Super Bowl week coming up here. What else do we have? The world's oldest person. How old do you think the? I guess it's the oldest person in the U.S., Davey?
116 years old.
116 years old.
Whoa.
That's pretty old. And I wonder what quality of life is like. Because I got to tell you, if you're living, what do you think?
I said, God bless her.
I mean, think about this.
She may be healthy.
How old are you? How old are you right now? And are you feeling aches and pains? And you're thinking, well, okay, yeah, I'm 65, let's say.
Yeah.
Or you're 60 years old, or you're 70 years old. I mean, you're going to add, if you're 70, can you imagine living another 46 years? That's pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll talk to Tanya Powers about that coming up in a second here. What else do we have here on this Monday morning? I have. Go ahead.
Did you see Carl Weathers passed away? Apollo Creed over the weekend.
Yeah,
it was very sad.
Yeah. And he was featured last night, I think, with the Grammys. They do the people who've died
In memoriam.
That was the dumbest in memoriam I've ever seen.
They usually do it at the Oscars too.
They do, but last night it was more music executives and musicians and like
You're saying people you never heard of?
Well, some that you never heard of, but some that you have, like Melanie, who just recently died, did Brand New Key, right? And people who just recently have died, and people who died through the year. But it just went on and on and on. They had different people singing. It was confusing. It was terrible. But anyway, yeah, he was included in the deaths. Taylor Swift used her acceptance speech to plug a new album. We mentioned that. And let me go to Mike, who's in Schuyler right now, watched the Grammys last night, with a couple of additional comments. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, last night was the first time I watched the Grammys in a long time.
I am the same. Show. I have not watched it in a long time, and I watched last night a little bit. I thought it was pretty good.
To the end?
I did not watch to the end. I know Billy Joel did play his song. I fell asleep.
We were just talking about that.
Oh, he played it at the Grammys,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How did they go over?
He played. Well, I tell you, I watched him. I thought it was awesome, and then you know what? It was terrible. It was terrible too.
What happened?
No, I loved it. I messed up last week when we tried to do that thing where you cut out the.
Oh, it was terrible. I see you're doing both. It was awful. It was disgusting. Yeah, that's good. I get what you're doing. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
But no, but it's I know, and Taylor Swift, she has one more albums than anyone beating.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. But I do believe that that was pretty it was pretty impressive. I love the song. I did not see it play last night though. So
after he played it too, after when they announced like the last award, he actually he played "You May Be Right." That was like playing during the credits. And I think his record the band was there because that one guy played the saxophone.
Yep.
I can't think of his name.
I can't either.
You know which one?
But I know where you're going. So he was there. Yeah, that's cool. All right, good stuff. So you give a thumbs up to the Grammys last night?
Yeah, I thought it was okay, especially not seeing it for years. But yeah, it is different than the Oscars, and I know that the way they do. I look forward to that.
Yeah. Good stuff, Michael. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Have a terrible day. Have a terrible day. All right. Have a good day. Thank you. What I had said to him on last week was, what is popular is hating something.
Yeah.
That's what Twitter is for, right? Although, did you see the tweet that the former president put out over the weekend? It isn't a tweet.
He back
it's
on
his,
tweet?
No, it's his...
Or X or Twitter or whatever.
No, whatever his social media is.
Yeah.
He put out a split shot. Did you see this, Davey?
Yeah.
A split screen of him and Elvis.
Uh-huh.
And it said, look it, people tell me I look just like Elvis. Do you agree? I don't
he
think
don't
so.
look like Elvis.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
orange.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little bit.
So
I don't see
it. For some reason, I don't know what's going on with Fox News Radio today, but between copping a little attitude from the woman who does our booking,
so we're not
and
getting
Tanya not calling in. I don't know what's going on, but I do have this story. This is from KTXL. A birthday celebration is coming up for a California woman who's the oldest documented living person in the U.S.
She's 116.
Yes, her name is Edie Ricagno Keenan Cesarelli of Willits, California. Her birthday was yesterday. They had a big parade for her. I mean, she looks to be, still looking pretty healthy and everything. So,
well, I mean,
and with it,
and with it, maybe. I don't know, the quality of life. I mean, she's been around since 1908, maybe.
Yeah. Well, there's a quote in this story. Perisco married into Cesarelli's family. Her husband Lee Perisco and his brother Charles are second cousins, and she would ask, "Why am I still here? I don't understand it."
Yeah, I can understand asking that question. Mike this morning with a comment. I hope you don't end up with the situation last year where the apple trees bloomed early. We ended up with a freeze, and many of the orchards ended up with no apples for the entire season.
Yeah,
and that did happen. My mother was talking about a story where I don't know if it's what kind of bird it is. We have canaries in this area? I don't know. Anyway, it's a bird that's yellow. A finch, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it's a finch. Whatever it is, the male is the colorful bird. But during the winter months, the colors of the male will dull. And according to my mom, just 2 weeks ago, she saw, let's say it's the finch, and the male is in the springtime, as it gets to be spring and we go into summer, the colors brighten. And she said the colors are already brightening on that bird.
So that's a good sign.
Well, it's a sign that it's abnormally warm and the birds are confused, I guess is where she's going with that. Comment from Chuck this morning. You can make fun of anyone as long as you say, bless their heart after the insult. Wow, is he fat? Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
Okay, I see where you're going with that, Chuck. How about this story I thought was kind of interesting? And we're seeing in New York where the battle is on and the mandate is there. If you're a school and you have a nickname or a mascot that is Native American related and it's considered offensive, although I don't know who gets to decide that, you had to change the name. There are some schools that are still trying to figure out what their new name will be. In Pennsylvania, at a school district, and it seems to be a bit of a trend, the school board was taken over by a group of conservatives. They're now moving. I mean, think of what this must be like for the kids getting confused here. They're now moving the name back to the Native American name after it changed about 7 years ago.
So where is this?
This is in Pennsylvania, southern PA. They're moving it back. They're going back to the Susquehanna Warriors in Glen Rock, Pennsylvania.
Whitesboro is still the Warriors, right?
I don't know, but I think all schools have been or they would lose state aid. They have to make the change in New York. Maybe Warriors isn't one that is considered.
I mean, that would
Native American.
I mean, I think
don't know.
Some of these are very.
It is a Native American mascot, I think.
Oh, so maybe it's the depiction.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what but I do know the mandate is there that schools in New York have to change. But in Pennsylvania, they're changing back. Oh, boy. And one more. This is, I'm looking at the picture of Trump and Elvis, and I can see where he's. No, I can't. I don't see any.
Maybe the hair at one point?
I don't know. Maybe it's the hair. Maybe the hair is up there. I see, and it's not the old Elvis either. The old heavier Elvis.
Oh, so it's not.
It's the young Elvis. It's like Elvis.
It's not toilet Elvis.
It's Elvis 68.
Okay.
Elvis 69 when he was doing the big comeback. Separate minds. For so many years, people have been saying that Elvis and I are look-alike. Now this pic has been going all over the place. What do you think? Are you looking at it? Do you see it?
Yeah.
Do you see? I mean, you're
two totally different people.
They do look like two different people.
Yeah.
I don't see any comparison at all. And you can only imagine the people who don't like Trump on Twitter are going crazy over it.
Yes.
And one more. Wayne says you can say whatever you want if followed by with all due respect, or no offense.
No offense. Right, yeah, that is what helps you.
With all due respect, you're fat. I don't know about that. I don't know, but
no offense, but you're disgusting.
God bless your little heart. You are disgusting, but God bless your little heart. And yes, Trump does look like Elvis. If he continues with his McDonald's diet, he'll look like Elvis during his post-carbohydrate phase.
Oh, boy.
Says Michael this morning. All right, I got a break. It's Monday morning. We have a bunch to get to. I said we have a story out there that might be pretty big. We'll dabble in it coming up next hour, if I can. Hobike's free money question of the day coming up next hour as well. And I wanted to mention... this is kind of this is cool. Speaking of changing the school names, they're getting rid of the many military bases that are named after Confederate leaders. Now, I know there are people that are like, "Why do you have to change?" I'm all for the change. They lost the freaking war. You don't name military bases after the country that tried it to, even if it is a civil war. You don't name it after the people who tried to rise up against you, and they lost the war.
Yeah.
That was stupid. And I know what we were doing back then, trying to appease, let's get the country back together, but it was a wrong idea. It shouldn't have been done. And, there are military people going around working on changing the names of these bases. And there are 2 brigadier generals that are going to be up here on Wednesday at Hamilton College talking about this, and they'll be on the air coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. Pretty excited about that, too. Hold on tight. We'll come right back. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
The Fed's new FedNow system is all about surveillance and control. Secure your assets today with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I recommend diversifying your retirement into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word safeguard to 989898. Do this right now. Text Safeguard to the number 989898 and get a free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High Impact Protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code MUSCLE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text MUSCLE to 511-511. Text MUSCLE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Another base housing Americans attacked by a drone. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time it was in Syria, where 6 allied Kurdish fighters were killed, but no Americans were hurt. Unlike the attack over a week ago in Jordan that killed 3 U.S. soldiers, prompting an American retaliation Friday, hitting Iran-backed militants in Iraq and Syria. The U.S. also hit Houthi rebels again in Yemen.
Missiles are fired from U.S. warships once again. Central Command saying they were acting against Houthi weapons being prepared for launch. This action just a day after joint US-UK airstrikes on Houthi targets, with the United States warning it plans to take more action against militants linked to Iran in Syria and Iraq.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The Senate's released details of a bipartisan bill with new border security provisions attached to military aid to Ukraine and Israel. Fox's Jill Nato reports.
That would include a crackdown on parole for migrants, as well as give presidents powers to expel migrants if authorities become overwhelmed with the number of asylum seekers. President Biden issued a statement saying the measure will make our country safer, make our border more secure, and treat people fairly.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson posted on X the bill will not come close to ending the border catastrophe the president created, and it'll be dead on arrival in the House. Southern California is getting a soaking. A storm could dump over a foot of rain on some areas, leading to flooding and landslide concerns and mandatory evacuations in the L.A. area.
They said that, if you leave, we're there and they're not going to let you back in. And so we just decided we'd stick around.
There are some 600,000 power outages. Taylor Swift broke news at the Grammys on CBS, announcing a new album in April, and then she broke a record, winning her 4th Album of the Year award for Midnights.
I would love to tell you that this is the best moment of my life, but I feel this happy when I finish a song.
Swift also won Best Pop Vocal Album. Miley Cyrus won 2 Grammys, including Record of the Year. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now we're at 25 degrees under mostly clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts, presenting Standards and Stories with Tony Danza, April 6th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. The New York State Police are still investigating an accident on Culpeper Road in the town of Montague for a reported snowmobile crash. It happened on February 3rd at 2:47 in the morning. Investigation so far has determined 33-year-old Richard Mangiardi Jr. from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, was snowmobiling with family and friends on a 2017 Arctic Cat snowmobile on a trail near Culpeper Road when he failed to negotiate a curve, exited the trail, and struck a tree. Mangiardi Jr. suffered a traumatic head injury and was pronounced dead at the scene. State police were assisted at the scene by the Lewis County search and rescue. Micron Technology is offering paid summer internships to college students around the region. The internships will be located at the company's Idaho headquarters and also a facility in Virginia. Students who are accepted will have their relocation and housing expenses covered, and in order to qualify, they must be pursuing a degree in a field that is aligned with the position they're seeking. Micron is currently planning to build a massive manufacturing plant in Clay, New York. The suspect arrested in connection with murder in Clay, speaking of Clay, New York, is expected to be back in court later this week. Authorities say 31-year-old Quentin Paquette will next face a judge on Wednesday. Paquette is accused of stabbing 32-year-old Brady Tayo to death in an apartment on Theodolite Drive Friday. The two men were involved in a dispute before the incident, and Paquette is facing multiple charges. He's being held in the Onondaga County Justice Center without bail. Central New York drivers are noticing a rise in gas prices when it comes time to fill up their vehicles. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular gas is now $3.34. That's up 7 cents in the past week, but it's still 2 cents lower than this time a month ago. Right now, the state average is sitting at $3.28 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.14. And several U.S. sites have made National Geographic's list of the top 20 travel experiences around the globe. The Katmai National Park in Alaska, Route 66 in New Mexico, and West Virginia's New River placed on the Best of the World 2024. New York also popped up on the list with antiquing in the Hudson Valley and observing the total solar eclipse in Niagara Falls. National Geographic editors, photographers, and explorers compiled the annual list. WIBX 950 news time is 7:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News chief meteorologist Craig Flint. For today, we can expect the clouds to break up and become sunny with highs. The skies should have the clouds break up and become sunny. I'm still in vacation mode here, so sorry about that. We'll see temperatures in the upper 30s with that sunshine. Clear skies overnight with low around 18. Tomorrow, sunny with highs in the upper 30s. By Thursday, Smitty, it'll be partly sunny with a high near 50. Right now, we're at 25 degrees under mostly clear skies at 7:07. Sports brought to you by IBEW 43 Nika Local. That's right. We have some news out of the NFL. The Giants still searching for a new defensive coordinator. According to the NFL Network, the G-Men interviewed Minnesota Vikings defensive pass game coordinator Durante Jones for the position as the Senior Bowl at the Senior Bowl in Mobile. Jones has been with the Vikings since 2022, joining the team as a defensive backs coach before moving into his current role. New York has also interviewed Kansas City Chiefs linebackers coach Brendan Daly, along with a handful of other candidates. Speaking of the Chiefs, the Super Bowl competitors have landed in Sin City. The reigning champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, touched down at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, while San Fran arrived an hour later. The two teams will spend the week preparing for the Super Bowl, including Media Week, which is a rematch of Super Bowl 54 just 4 years ago. Kansas City is in the game for the fourth time in 5 seasons, which is disgusting. While this is the 49ers' first time back since their loss to the Chiefs, it's the first time that Las Vegas has hosted the contest. It'll kick off 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday. What else? The Syracuse Orange basketball team, oh my goodness, they played a horrible game against Wake Forest, losing by a score of 99-70. So, as Smitty said, that's probably likely going to end their chances at a tournament. I mean, you really can't come back from that. I mean, short of something miraculous. Utica Comets over the weekend, they had a couple games versus Toronto at home. The Marlies of Toronto losing 4-0 on Friday.
Great game on Saturday. They had a 2-goal lead, maybe, and blew the lead. Went into overtime, didn't score, and then won 2-0 in a shootout.
Yes, so the total there with the shootout points 6-5, according to the Utica Comets website. So,
all right.
Other than that, I think we're good.
All right. We may get into this story. We may not. I don't know. I'm going to try. Coming up, 2 brigadier generals in charge of the base changing the names of bases named after Confederate soldiers or Confederate icons. We'll get into that coming up in a little bit. Mike's free money question of the day. And some other comments out there this morning we'll get to as well. 7:09 Monday morning at WIBX.
Most folks don't realize this fact. Our country is only 4 missed meals away from chaos, and those meals can vanish fast. In a national emergency, fragile supply chains break down and will wipe grocery store shelves clean in a matter of hours. Before this happens, there's something you should do today. That's stock up on emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply is the company millions of American families trust for their emergency supplies. You should too. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each kit contains delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, heirloom seeds, and other survival necessities. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day, fast. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. Those who know what's coming prepare before the chaos starts. MyPatriotSupply.com.
The Fed's new FedNow system is all about surveillance and control. Secure your assets today with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I recommend diversifying your retirement into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word safeguard to 989898. Do this right now. Text Safeguard to the number 989898 and get a free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Adirondack Home Furniture's Flex Steel Big Game Sale is going on now, but only for a limited time. Hurry in for discounts up to 15% off select sofas, recliners, occasional pieces, and leather furniture. With hundreds of designer fabrics to choose from, your new piece is guaranteed to have the look you want. Stop dreaming and start creating the home of your dreams with quality, long-lasting Flex Steel furniture from Adirondack Home Furniture. Beauty and comfort is made to last with Flex Steel's exclusive lifetime warranty blue steel spring seating. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and save up to 15% during their big game sale. Visit their Flex Steel gallery for the best selection of Flex Steel furniture on sale. The best value and top quality furniture for your home is at Adirondack Home Furniture. You don't want to miss out on the Flex Steel big game sale at Adirondack Home Furniture. Hurry in, sale ends soon. Located at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
At Mattress Express, get a queen flex head bed with adjustable base and a set of sheets for $14.99. Qualified buyers get no money down and up to 60 months to pay. A flex head bed is where each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress. See store for details.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And I have some comments here this morning. Big Honey on the Billy Joel song. Only half a waffle on the new Billy Joel song. Have you heard it yet?
I have. I'm not a true Billy Joel fan, I guess, because I've not heard it yet.
I love it. I really like it a lot. So, Fred and Clinton, Bill, the governor's proposed adjustments in school aid were printed in a recent edition of the Sentinel. John, is there any follow-up to the story your mother told about her medical report? That's a good question, John. And in this day and age of when I spoke to her over the weekend, she still had not heard back from her doctor, which is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Lance and Lee. Tony Pacenti was on Friday. So Tony is saying residents don't have the right to fight to keep their property, and this is over the eminent domain issue. No, I think Pacenti's gripe is that then Mayor Rob Palmieri was basically trying to sell it out from underneath, and this is not the original owner fighting this. This is that
Bowers
Development that's turned this into a very sticky situation.
I think Bowers bought it from O'Brien, or the owner of O'Brien Plumbing.
And as Tony said, there's no official deed yet, so it doesn't. There's no.
So they haven't closed on the property.
The property hasn't. They haven't closed on it, so they're really not the owner. I don't know. It's crazy. Christine in Whitesboro, I've been listening to the app, only getting commercials. Currently listening to the 8th commercial. Davey, can you check on that and see what's going on with that?
I already had him look at it. I think that was because she made that comment at 6:20 in the morning before we started the program.
Okay, yeah. Taylor said it was her 13th Grammy. This is Debbie in Rome. Taylor said it was her 13th Grammy, not to brag, but because 13 is her lucky number. Okay.
Okay, all right. Did you see the one from Matt and Holland Patton regarding eminent domain? What does a landowner get if it's taken by eminent domain? Do they get paid well? So a lot of the
market
time,
value, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time, an organization or a government body or some other the person that's applying for eminent domain or suing for eminent domain will make an offer prior to that happening.
Court looks at it.
Usually, it's probably better for you to try to take the offer that they give you initially.
Okay.
I mean, just in my opinion, because if you get an appraiser out there, then what's going to happen is they're
going to start digging in, and is there?
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah,
and you're never going to be happy.
In the United States, the concept of being rich is subject to discussion. Do you, Andrew, feel that you're rich?
Not even close.
However, if you compare it to when you were 15, you're like rolling in dough.
Or if I was 28.
Yeah. Rolling in dough, rolling in debt. Davey, do you feel you're rich today? Ooh, that was a bad response. Ad Bukowski is a financial strategist and money manager who's on the line right now. The question is, are we rich in America? Boy, I think if we compare ourselves to the rest of the world, even those
if you talk about something like that,
even those
that's
who are
a
not
different
rich
story.
are pretty wealthy.
Yeah.
Ed, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, are we rich?
Well, you're not rich.
Thank you.
How did you know?
He knows me so well. Yeah.
Now, rich is really a function of what your needs are. I mean, there are people who have $500,000 saved away and will never go through that amount of money because they live very miserly.
Mm-hmm.
At Social Security that pays them about $2,500 a month, and off of $500,000, they're bringing in about $2,500 a month, and that's more than enough for them because their house is paid off and they don't really need anything. So, how much considering yourself rich is really a function of what you have versus comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to see like somebody like Bill Gates, for instance, saying, I'm going to give away, 99 or 95, whatever the percentages of my wealth. And he still lives, able to live like a king. But again, it's all really relative, right?
It's all relative. I mean, my wife and I live a nice life, but our neighbors are getting their kitchen redone. And I keep saying, she wants to get our kitchen redone. And I said, well, we can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
And we're still living fine, but she considers them rich.
Right.
I wish Hilton would stop doing all this redesigning.
Well, the fact that you live next to Paris, I mean, it's
come on.
It is. It is something, and it's tough to keep up with the neighbors and that sort of thing, but we do want, think about the world, Ed, what it used to be like, the world with our grandparents. And not all are the same, but for the most part, the average grandparent of yesteryear lived in a very modest house. They did nothing. They didn't go on long vacations. People just didn't spend extra money. And today, more people go on vacation. More people have all the amenities at their home. More people remodel their home than ever before, I think, in America.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the money is on fire and it has to be moving somewhere.
Yeah,
and that does. And then when you have, social media making people feel less than they are, doesn't, help. I can only imagine my parents, if they had social media, they'd be like, oh, we got to get a new car. Like, well, what's wrong with this one? It's only 10 years old.
Yeah.
And, it's a very different world that we live in today. But again, the definition of wealth is having everything you need with a little bit left over.
Ed, it's the internet and social media that led to the expression we like to talk about a lot: champagne taste on a beer budget.
Right.
And that's a big problem too.
Yeah.
They get a little bit of money here or there from a tax return or something like that. A lot of people say, "Oh, we got to spend our tax return." Well, maybe you just save your tax return
or pay off your credit cards with it.
Yeah. Well, that's a smart way. That's a smart way to spend it.
Ed, it's not even the neighbors. Sometimes it's your own wife. And let me explain to you. So, I have a new car, and it's CX-90. Love the vehicle. It's a Mazda. It isn't, it's not a luxury car, but it is a luxury car. It's a great vehicle. Anyway, my wife has a vehicle that's from 2014, and I say, get another car. No, I don't want. We're paying this thing off, and I'm going to enjoy a year of no car payments. But then when she talks to her friends, she says, "Look at my husband driving a new car, and I got to drive one from 2014." Oh, yeah. Well, Ed, the pressure can come from within your household, too. I'm just telling you.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot of grievances, all of us.
We do. Technically, I'm rather pissed. I mean, just in general. I mean, the weather, the finances, the whole world. The reality is, look at what you have, and do you feel more wealthy if you're living within your means and you're not stressed over money? Maybe you don't have everything you want, but you're living within your means. I guess that is the definition of rich, is what you're describing.
Yeah, that's comfortable. I wouldn't call it rich.
Yeah.
But nowadays, being comfortable is rich.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Where can people follow you, Ed, if they want to hear more about you?
They can follow me at chapwoodinvestments.com.
Okay. All right, good deal. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And have a wonderful day. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right. Will Fiacco has decided he's running as a Republican.
Yes.
A former Democrat running as a Republican against Senator Joe Griffo. And Will is on the line right now. Will, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you doing?
Good. And listen, I know you as someone who's always willing to say, yes, this is what I stand for, and you stand up for what you believe in. So that's why I wanted to bring you on. So there is before I get into it, there is a text message that's been circulating around. And before any discussion of said text message, I wanted to talk to you and see if this is a message that you actually wrote or not.
Okay.
So it's the message. It looks like it's been deleted from your Twitter feed. And it's from the Will Fiacco for New York State Senate. Do you post directly on that? Do you personally post?
On Facebook?
This is Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Okay. So this is the post about civil war is coming.
Okay.
Is that so? That is a post, and I know you're somebody who, if you did it, you're going to say, "Yep, that was me."
Yeah, that was probably me. What does the post say? I don't recall.
All right. It says civil war is coming, and it's going to take all Republicans and conservatives to arm up and prepare to take the lives of their liberal neighbors. Democrats aim to destroy this country, and those that love it here, we will fight back, and we will win.
Right.
And that's
I did say that.
You did say that. How do you think that civil war is coming?
I do, and I felt this way for a long time. Now, I want to avoid that, of course. I want to work with the Republicans and the Democrats to avoid a civil war coming, but my feeling is that we're at that point. We are in a pre-Civil War status. If you compare what we're going through politically in the United States between the Democrats and the Republicans, you go back to the Whigs in the 1850s, it's almost parallel. We're in that same kind of mode. I think we're in that pre-war status, and that terrifies me.
So I want to read more and ask you to comment on a couple of these. Civil war is coming, and it's going to take all Republicans and conservatives to arm up, in this part, and prepare to take the lives of their liberal neighbors. Explain that.
If it comes to that, yeah. I mean, I don't want that to happen. Now, I want to make that very clear, that I want us to go at peace. But if we go into a civil war, what choice do we have?
Yeah. And then the line, Democrats aim to destroy this country. Do you believe, and those that love it here, do you believe Democrats aim to destroy the country?
I do now. I didn't a few years ago when I was a Democrat, and that's why I left the Democratic Party. What they are doing, especially in Albany, everything is going to the left, to Marxism and communism. It's even happening in the schools. And it's so bad that I feel, in my opinion, that the Marxism is growing so bad in the United States that they've basically taken over the Democratic Party. Now, I would like to see the Democratic Party start to remove the Marxists and the socialists and the communists from their party, but I don't see that happening.
Who are some that should be removed, do you think?
Well, the working family parties in New York State is the biggest complaint that I have, because they have about 8 members in the state Senate that are dictating all kinds of crazy policies that are just making the whole state go leave common sense and go into all kinds of unusual policies, in my opinion.
And when it comes to destroying the country, for instance, there are a lot of stories out there that people say about, for instance, Hillary Clinton, that remember that pizza story in New Jersey, pizzeria story, drinking the blood of babies. And do you believe that stuff is true? Do you think she's that evil?
I doubt it very seriously.
Yeah, I think that's kind of over the top.
It's over the top. But there is a growing, and I have noticed this in the school system, there is a growing tendency for people who are embracing what are called pagan religions, Wiccanism and Satanism alone. I've had several posts, and I've had conversations online with people, and these are school teachers, and they're indoctrinating the children into Satanism in some of the schools. Now, remember the last time that I was on your show, you had asked me about, are there any cases of gender ideology in the state of New York? And at that time, I couldn't have one.
Yeah.
Well, I found 2. We've got 2 cases now in New York State.
Okay.
But I would like to discuss with you at a later time if we can do that.
Okay, you don't want to do it now?
Oh, we can? Go ahead, yeah.
Well, where are they? Where is it happening?
The Skinny Atlas, there is now I just read it last night, so bear with me. Skinny Atlas, they just...
When you read this, when you read this, I'm sorry. Where is it? Is this on Facebook? Is it in the newspaper? Where is it coming from?
It was online.
Online. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's on a 13 WHAM ABC channel. I don't know where.
Okay, so that's a TV station.
Okay.
Yep.
The title is New York School District Socially Transitioned Student Without Parental Consent. So this gentleman in the Skinny Atlas he filed a suit for allegedly facilitating a student's gender transition without parental consent.
They're doing what without parental? What was it? I didn't.
Right. There's a young girl, 12 years old, who was transitioned by the school to become a boy.
Okay, and they did not inform the school that the girl was doing this.
Exactly.
Or did not inform the parents. All right.
Not inform the parents. Right.
I'll dig into that one for you, and then and Wham is. TV and radio. I know. Is it TV too in Rochester? Anyway, it's Rochester. Wham
it's
is
a Rochester news organization.
Yeah. Okay. And then the second school is where?
That was. Bear with me a second. I got to go back to Facebook. That one, okay, here it is. Court denies father's plea. Okay. second.
I'm with
Daily Caller reported the court denies father's plea to stop 8-year-old son's puberty blockers, and this happened in Erie County.
So who was giving him the well, if this was going on, who was giving him the puberty blockers?
Let's see.
Sounds like it might be a mother, father.
I believe that's what the article said.
Yeah, probably a divorce
Supreme
situation.
Court decision effectively stripped Hannon of his ability to influence his son's treatment. Let's see. His ex-wife reportedly started dressing their 3-year-old in clothing.
All right, we'll look into that one, too. Send them both to Andrew, if you could, and we'll look into those for you. Now, all right. So, again, back to the part where taking up arms. Have you prepared? Are you preparing for the Civil War?
I am preparing, and I have never been a gun owner in my life. I don't even like guns. I'm not a hunter, though I support hunting. But I do not, it's not something that is part of my personality. But I have seriously considered starting to.
You're thinking about it. Yeah.
I am thinking about it, and I'm telling you, my Democrat friends who are changing to Republican are thinking about it, and my Republican friends who don't have guns are thinking about it, too.
So how do you go from such a far right? I mean, your beliefs are right of the right. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
I think so because of the fact that my beliefs are based on my faith in Christ and how God would respect them.
Okay. Well, and in this case, I mean, saying that you have to prepare, conservatives, Republicans must arm up to prepare to take the lives of their liberal neighbors is a pretty radical statement, but you're saying that how would you say that if somebody says that's radical? Wow, that's really radical.
I think it comes down to the simple old adage, hope for the best but prepare for the worst.
Okay, all right. And then finally, how did you go from being a Democrat to this far right, let's call it conservative, although I don't know what I'd classify it as exactly, but how did you go from far left to far right or left to far right?
I don't think I've gone as far right. I think it comes back down to my Christian faith is what I determined. Now, when the Democratic Party back in the 90s under Bill Clinton, who I did support, was in a better shape in the United States than it is now, the Democratic Party has just kind of veered further and further to the left. Now, when I joined the United County Democratic Committee and I was endorsed for the assembly seat under the Democratic line, I got support from them, and I started talking to them, and everybody wanted the same thing. They wanted free education, free housing, free child care, free health care. Everything came down to free, 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 free. And what that implies is bigger government. Well, I happen to be I was a Democrat, but I still believed in smaller government. The Democratic Party at that time, at least 10 years ago, seemed to be more reasonable at working with the Republicans. But that's changed. Even people in the past year have said, I've left the Democratic Party, and I've been a Democrat all my life because of the extremism. So the left went, what happened was the Democratic Party went so far to the left, and I kind of stood still, and my values...
Oh, okay. So you don't think you've changed, it's the party that has changed?
No, because I've always believed in fair rights, but I've always believed in godly principles. And I don't want to force people to become Christians like I am, but I do believe that we were founded as a Christian nation, and we've gotten away from that.
Yeah.
Biblical principles were part of our founding fathers' ideals. Now, that doesn't mean we have to force people to become religious. It's just a matter of now it seems like the Democratic Party with the Marxism and the wokeism and the communism, those are atheistic ideologies. And so that's where we're coming from. And that's what I fear is happening. We are going communist in this country. And there's too many Republicans and patriots of all parties that are saying we don't want to lose our constitutional country.
Okay. And then, all right, and then this is Will Fiacco. Will is running. Obviously, signatures have to be obtained, but plans to run in primary Senator Joe Griffo.
That may not be happening as that way. I found out the other day that they have endorsed Joe Griffo as a Republican, I'm going to challenge it. But if I don't run as a Republican, I will be collecting signatures as an independent during the summer.
Okay, just so even though they've endorsed him,
you're challenging the endorsement.
You would still challenge it. You would still primary. You could still primary him.
I have to look at the procedures on that. I don't have specific details, but yeah, they endorsed him without giving me the opportunity to present my bid.
Okay, so you're saying that
who's they? Are you talking about the state
committee.
party?
The Oneida County Republican Committee.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you're saying that because they did that, you won't primary him, you'll run as an independent?
No, I'm saying that if I can't, I'm going to challenge their decision.
But you have to, without explaining all this,
an endorsement's not like
an endorsement is nothing more than they're saying, hey, we endorse him. There could still be a primary.
You could collect signatures and primary him.
Yeah, right. And I'm still going to do that. But I decided if I can't get on the bill, or if I can't get on the ballot as a Republican, I can always go as an independent.
Okay. Speaking with Will Fiacco, just another one more question. Why? So this statement, and again, I want to read it. Civil war is coming. It's going to take all Republicans and conservatives to arm up and prepare to take the lives of their liberal neighbors. Democrats aim to destroy this country, and those that love it here, we will fight back, and we will win. And why did you take it down?
Why did I take it down? I don't know that I did take it down.
Okay, because I was unable to find it. So you're saying you've not taken it down?
I don't believe I have. I know. Was that on Facebook? No, it was Twitter, you said.
Oh, Twitter might have taken it down.
I don't know. I have had a few of those comments taken down. I've been threatened by Facebook. So.
Yeah, that is on Twitter.
They're kind of scary, dangerous statements to make.
I have someone here saying, I don't believe now hear me out, and I'll try to explain this, what they're saying. They say, I don't believe Will is really a Republican. I believe Will is really a Democrat trying to make Republicans look bad by faking it. What would you say to that?
Well, certainly not. I mean, like I stated with the Democratic Party, what I found was they were too far to the left. They were too far into Marxism, so that went against my beliefs as a Christian and as an American who believes in the Constitution.
Okay.
I had not really been a big Democrat in the party. I voted Democrat mostly, but I also voted for some Republicans. I vote for the person based on the character of that person.
Okay.
But what ended up happening was when I got involved with the Oneida County Democrats, the whole committee was just looking to turn us into a communist state. And I said, I cannot be a part of this. Yeah. And when they started pushing gender ideology in the schools from the Democratic side, I said, you're going after kids.
Yeah.
And that goes way beyond what's right. And I said that's when I had to leave them, and that's when I connected with the Republican Party. And the Republican Party has certainly not been perfect, and they certainly are not the most supportive of me either. But my values are more in line with Republican ideals.
And then finally, you talk about the Constitution, but in reality, the Constitution puts country before God. It really does. And even our founding fathers, when the country was created, and while much of what we believe and what we stand for and the values that we have set for ourselves are based on religious teachings for the most part.
Right.
No, there is no official religion in the United States, and that was done specifically on purpose. How do you deal with that?
I think it's complicated, and I think that's something that we all have to research a little closer, because what I have read in the Founding Fathers, and I've only read some material recently, I've been studying it all my life, but it just only have a bare minimum knowledge of how the Founding Fathers were thinking. But I think we all need to sit down, Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike, and sit down and say, what did they really want for this country? Now, my personal belief is that God founded this country on biblical principles. We created our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence, and those are the formats that we need to follow in the organizational structure. But what we have gotten away from is we've just basically gone into the separation of church and state, and separation of church and state is really more defined as the state is not supposed to dictate over the church, not vice versa.
Well, I'm not even getting into that part of it. I'm just saying we haven't chosen an official. America doesn't have an official language, for that matter. We're not.
Right.
We don't have an official religion, allowing the freedom of religion for people to choose their religion. And but the Constitution. It separates itself from that, just based on that decision alone. I just find that quite interesting. Okay.
Well, it's my way of interpreting that the separation of church and state is more about that we're not going to have a certain church like a Baptist or a Catholic or a Pentecostal dictate policy, but at the same time, this is something that needs to be explored, I think.
Yeah, okay.
We don't really have any definitive answers.
I don't want to put you on the spot with that.
That's fine. It's complicated.
And then you say you're Christian. Do you have a specific faith that you follow?
A
religion that you follow?
Well, the denominational churches that I went to were mostly the charismatic churches. I was a student at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay,
so
all right.
That's my background.
All right, Will Fiacco, he might be running as a Republican. He might be running as an independent, but you say you are, no matter what, you are definitely running.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, we appreciate your time, Will. Thank you. And
Thanks,
I don't know if you noticed, but I no arguing, not arguing with you.
No, I love this. We can do this all the time. Call me anytime.
Letting you speak your mind. So, all right.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
Have a great day. I'll break. Hold tight. It's 7:40 at WIBX.
Cliff's Local Market is proud to be your convenience store that keeps you going. We are locally owned and operated by Clifford Fuel, and we're proud to offer local products like Utica coffee with fresh brewed dark Adirondack, along with a seasonal flavor. At Cliff's, you can find Dippin' Donuts, sauce from It's a Utica Thing, and cheeses from River Rat and Grassy Cow. Cliff's Local Market has your favorite pizza made fresh all day with dough from Utica, made to order subs, wraps, and salads, and other healthy local choices. Cliff's Local Market, we keep you going.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to American Pie of Rome this Thursday morning starting at 8. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Go to American Pie of Rome on Black River Boulevard for the area's best pizza, wings, subs, and more. See their menu on Facebook.com/American Pie Rome, New York, or call 315-371-0026. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates from American Pie of Rome. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you. The first steps taken in the Wynn Hospital are the first steps of a care experience that stands apart. One where compassion can always be found, where teams are trained to serve you well, and where cutting-edge technology is always at the ready. Because here, you not only receive state-of-the-art care, you have a distinctive care experience, one that is all about your comfort in a healing environment. Welcome to the Wynn Hospital.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backing you up. So I order food on EasyCater for a meeting with a new client in Jackson. Gotta feed clients in Jackson. On my way to the airport, it hits me. The client is actually in Jacksonville. Feed clients in Jacksonville. Oopsie. So I call EasyCater. Nina picks up right away. Gonna fix it for you. She called me right back and said you're all set. Nina fixed the Jackson accident.
Jackson? EasyCater has your back with 24/7 support. Order at EasyCater.com and know.
We got your back.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the #1 real estate agency in all of Central New York for independent agencies. #2, if you count the big chains. And it's all about services. Services provided. If in 2024 you're thinking about selling your home, talk to an agent with River Hills Properties. Call today in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, but servicing all of upstate New York. And they'll tell you the difference. All the extra services provided. You know your listing agent is there every time your house is shown. That might mean just to make sure the lights are on and that the house is presentable to be shown, putting the best foot forward. It also might mean somebody has a really important question and is deciding on whether or not to buy the home and to put in an offer. Your listing agent's there to answer that question. All around, it's just a better way of selling homes. It's the River Hills way. Call them today at 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Julia, I'm not sure I agree with you on this one. I think it's too far. I'm just speaking directly to her. I think it's too far out there to because this benefits nobody, no party at all. Comments like that. So that's why I'm not with you. I think. Anyway, we just heard from Mr. Fiacco. I'm going to move on, though. Davey, our free money question of the day. It is worth how much today? What do you want to go with?
$200.
$200. And for $200, you want to take a shot? We'll make it caller number 3, okay? You can grab third caller through the line right now at 315-736-0186. Caller number 3, and it's worth $200. So I'm just letting everything sink in just a little bit. But listen, I'm not going to sit and argue. I appreciate the fact that he was willing to say, yeah, that was me. I made that statement.
Yeah.
I put that on Twitter. And I think it is taken down. I think it has been taken down.
But that's an excellent point. It was probably, especially with how matter of fact and certain he was of his opinion and strong in his opinion, it was probably something that was taken down by the platform.
Yeah. But I will say I don't know how you go from. But I know people who have become all in. And Trump has been able to do that. And I'm not saying, please don't get going. I'm not saying Trump is responsible for the Civil War stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Trump has been able to inspire people from going from being a Democrat to a Trump Republican. That has happened. And I'm not talking about the radicalism at all. I'm just saying he's a different character. He's a different type of candidate.
He's inspired people.
He has inspired people to make the jump, and he does claim that he is a Trump supporter. Now there is one person here this morning saying, "I think he's just doing it to make conservatives look bad." And I would say this to that. I don't think there's anybody out there saying, "See, that's what conservatives think," because I don't believe people feel that way, or that at the very least they shouldn't. His views are pretty radical, but he is saying, he's not saying he hopes this happens. He's saying we need to be ready if it does,
and he appears to be ready.
Can you imagine a civil war today? What it would be like? So you basically have the cities are liberal and everywhere else is conservative. For the most part, and that's not all to be true, but in general, right? In general, unlike the Civil War of the 1800s, where you had the North versus the South, this wouldn't be North versus South.
It would be
This would be brutal to figure out.
Yeah. Well, just look at the Electoral College map.
Correct. You may go states, right? Red states, blue states. Would that be what it is? So it would be scattered. There'd be no easy line.
But even within the states,
even within the states,
you look at. Well, there are some parts of Texas that are extremely liberal.
Forget Texas. Just look at New York.
Yeah.
Right? So you have New York City, which is the base of the bulk of liberals in New York State, and then the rest of the state. Now your cities have, Syracuse would be more of a liberal city, but liberal to moderate. So it would be a mess.
And even California, geographically, there are several cities throughout that state, up and down, north to south of that state.
No doubt.
Very rural Republican counties.
Ronald Reagan became governor of California.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I have Tony on the line right now in Herkimer. Hello, Tony. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to take a shot here?
Sure thing, as long as it's not a Taylor Swift question.
It is not, although a good question would be, how many Grammys has she won?
Oh, that's easy.
That'd be easy. It'd be the number?
13.
13. And it's her lucky number, apparently. That's what she said last night. All right, here's your question. Here we go. You'll have 7 seconds to answer, Tony. Here we go. Known first as Brad's drink, today it's called what? Ready, go.
Brad's drink?
Brad's drink. Name a drink. If you were to name a drink right now off the top of your head, what would it be?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Did Brad's drink become Gatorade? It did not. Andrew, did Brad's drink become... pick a drink.
Don't know. Margarita.
Pick a soft drink.
Oh, Coca-Cola.
Wrong. Davey.
Brad's drink became A&W root beer?
Wrong. All right, nobody's guessing Pepsi. Pepsi. It became Pepsi.
All righty then.
Well, what are you going to do? We're going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card is what we're going to do. It's good at Aquavino, Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, and Adirondack Bank Center's concession stands and gift shop, and Nexus as well. So stand by.
They should change the name of Taylor and the Cook. Just the name of Taylor is driving me nuts now.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and the Cook.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go. All right, stand by. Davey's going to take care of you. Okay, Tony?
Thank you, bud. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. You too. Brad's drink. Pepsi.
Really? So is it the owner? Not the owner. The founder of Pepsi?
I have no
was
idea
Brad?
where that actually... Pepsi was first invented in 1893 as Brad's drink by Caleb Bradham, who sold the drink at his drugstore in New Bern, North Carolina.
Okay.
It later would become Pepsi Cola. In 1898, it was renamed Pepsi Cola and advertised to relieve dyspepsia, indigestion, and cola referring to the cola flavor.
Okay.
In fact, as a kid, I do remember, I don't know, it was a cousin or but they would always have actual Coca-Cola syrup. That if you add it up to that stomach, they'd say, just take a little sip of this.
Of like what you would mix the...
Yeah, it'd be a mixing, what you would use to mix.
Carbonated water.
Yeah. And I believe it may have, back in the day, had like a little touch of codeine in it.
Well, and Coca-Cola, they say had cocoa.
Maybe it wasn't codeine. Maybe it was who knows what. Anyway, so there you go. Wow, we have come a long way today. We've learned a lot. We've
welcome back, Andrew.
We've come a long way. Next hour, we'll speak with County Sheriff, Oneida County Sheriff Rob Machel, and we're talking about the jails and contraband. How this stuff gets into these jails. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
They always find new and creative ways to do it.
And this is also going to be interesting. There is a group locally called Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine. We'll speak with Samara El-Saidi, Palestinian side of things. I will right off the bat say that while I do not agree with them in this, I do agree with their right to have the opinion. And I also believe, and it'll be interesting to speak with them, that there is a difference between anti-Semitism and someone who just disagrees with policies, including war. So where do they stand? I'm really interested to dig in and find out.
Well, the important thing, too, to remember is that Utica is very rich in culture and refugees, and especially the Bosnian community, and a lot of them are of Muslim faith, and a lot of them are supporting
half of the population. Yeah.
or in immense support of the Palestinian movement.
We'll get to that all next hour. It should be interesting. That's all I'm saying. 7:56. Andrew's back after a week of being away. You had some really good guest hosts in. Manaski was in for a couple of days.
Always good to have him back in the chair.
And Senator Griffo was in on a day. And we had one more. Who was the other one?
Davey?
You had Jeff for 3 days, and you had Senator Griffo.
That's only.
And Megan.
And Megan did one day. Yeah.
How was
that? Really good. Yeah,
Good.
she's a news person and
our boss.
Kingpin, we call her around here.
Queenpin.
I don't think you go gender neutral on these things today. So Queenpin is what we do. So it's not picking a gender, right?
Quing,
something like that. All right, we'll stop. Got a break. Coming up, news top of the hour. First Fox News, and then, of course, Andrew with an update coming up here on Monday morning at WIBX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-294-8831 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-294-8831. That's 800-294-8831. What do you have to lose? Call 800-294-8831. Again, 800-294-8831.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn.
Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
The Fed is setting a digital dollar control trap. The new FedNow system might sound modern and convenient, but the truth is, it's all about surveillance and control. Don't be fooled. Secure your assets right now with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Donald Trump. And in these times of uncertainty, I believe the best way to defend your savings is to use tangible assets, which is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Because gold has a 5,000-year track record as the ultimate guardian of wealth. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text HEDGE to the number 989898. That's HEDGE to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Dead on arrival. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. House Speaker Mike Johnson already coming out against the Senate border security compromise, posting on X, it won't come close to ending the border catastrophe created by President Biden, who says the bill would make our country safer. Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer is touting it, too.
Everyone who looks at our bill says that it will greatly reduce the flow of illegal immigrants into this country.
Now, all these border provisions to stop record illegal immigration will be attached to military aid to Israel and Ukraine.
It would create new rules for how to handle border security, including stopping the border from being open, essentially shutting it down if there's a certain number of encounters over a weekly period, 5,000. It would also end some of the president's catch and release policies.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is starting a new Middle East trip after the U.S. carried out
new strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen as the group prepared for more launches toward the Red Sea. The U.S. response on Sunday followed a larger campaign on Saturday that hit 36 different Iran-linked targets in Yemen.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. The U.S. also hit Iran-backed militants in Iraq and Syria Friday, retaliating for the deadly attack on a U.S. base in Jordan. The rain keeps pouring down in California. Some areas around L.A. and San Diego have had more than 9 inches already, with more to come.
Definitely the flooding is concentrated in low-lying areas, in areas, like this one, which really backs up against the Hollywood Hills. We're in the Laurel Canyon area of Los Angeles. This street essentially turned into a river.
Fox Weather's Max Gordon. At the Grammys on CBS, Taylor Swift broke a record, winning her 4th Album of the Year award for Midnights. She also got Best Pop Vocal Album, but Swift lost out to Miley Cyrus for Record of the Year.
This award is amazing, but I really hope that it doesn't change anything, because my life was beautiful yesterday.
Cyrus also won Best Pop Solo Performance for Flowers, her first 2 Grammys. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't let everyday aches and pains keep you from living your best life.
I don't think I really understood what people meant when they talked about pain until I started feeling it myself.
Start feeling better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement designed to support your body's fight against aches and pains.
Not only do I move better without pain, I just feel better.
Created by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that target 4 metabolic pathways to address pain. Relief Factor doesn't just mask aches and pains, it helps reduce or even eliminate them.
Today, I do the things I love, and it doesn't occur to me to think about pain.
You can feel the difference all day, every day.
Join the over 1 million people who have tried Relief Factor's 3-week Quick Start Kit. It's only $19.95 and comes with our Feel Better or Your Money Back guarantee. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now we're at 25 degrees under sunny skies here in Marcy. Your full weather forecast is coming up. State police announcing a fatal snowmobile crash in Lewis County. Troopers were called to the scene on February 3rd. Bill, I'm sorry, I still got my sea legs or my sea brain here. They were called to the scene on February 3rd at 2:47 a.m. The investigation determined 33-year-old Richard Mangiardi Jr. from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, was snowmobiling with family and friends on a 2017 Arctic Cat snowmobile on a trail near Culpeper Road when he failed to negotiate a curve, exited the trail, and struck a tree. Mangiardi suffered a traumatic head injury and was pronounced dead at the scene. State police were assisted at the scene by Lewis County Search and Rescue. Micron Technology, the manufacturing company that is planning a plant in Clay, New York, is offering paid summer internships to college students around our region. The internships will be located at the company's Idaho headquarters and also a facility in Virginia. Students who are accepted will have their relocation and housing expenses covered, and in order to qualify, they must be pursuing a degree in a field that is aligned with the position they are seeking. Central New York drivers are noticing a rise in gas prices when it comes time to fill up their vehicles, according to AAA. The average cost for a gallon of regular gas is $3.34. That's up 7 cents in the past week, but it's still 2 cents lower than this time a month ago. Right now, the state average is sitting at $3.28 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.14. Older New Yorkers are being urged to roll up their sleeves and get themselves vaccinated against 3 potentially dangerous viruses. Experts say the flu, COVID-19, and RSV can pose a serious threat to people who are 60 and older. Folks in that age group have ended up in the hospital or even lost their lives after getting infected. Medicaid can be used to cover the cost of these vaccines. A list of immunization sites can be found online. The New York State Fair has announced a significant change to this year's concert schedule. There will no longer be any free afternoon shows at Suburban Park due to the cost of running them and low attendance. However, the 8 p.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. performances at Chevy Park will remain. This year's State Fair begins on August 21st and runs through September 2nd. And a Florida woman, they all start with that, right? A Florida woman is under arrest after she allegedly threatened workers in a convenience store with a vegetable peeler while naked and drunk. The 35-year-old also, took care of herself in front of law enforcement officers at the racetrack store in St. Petersburg. According to court documents obtained by the Smoking Gun, the woman also pushed over a Red Bull energy drink display and spilled a carton of cigarettes. One of the store workers told police the woman said she would kill him. They all start with a Florida man or woman.
They do tend to start that way.
Yeah. It is 8:06.
And I like how you delicately made your way through that story.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It is 8:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Optimistic is the forecast, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Mostly sunny skies today with a high in the upper 30s. Overnight, we'll see clear skies with lows dropping down in the upper teens, but then it will warm up again tomorrow with sunny skies, highs in the upper 30s. Bill, by Thursday, we'll see partly sunny skies and highs near 50. Right now, 25 under mostly clear skies at 8:07. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43 Local. Well, the stage is set for Super Bowl 54. Or excuse me, it is Super Bowl, I don't know which one it is, 59 now?
I don't know what we're up to, but just keep moving on.
Thank you. Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium.
There you go.
The two teams have landed in Sin City. That includes the reigning Kansas City Chiefs touching down at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, while San Fran arrived an hour later. The two teams will spend the week preparing for the Super Bowl, which is a rematch of Super Bowl 54 just 4 years ago. That's where my confusion came in. Kansas City is in the game for the 4th time in 5 seasons, while this is the 49ers' first time back since their loss to the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54. It's the first time that Vegas hosted the contest, which kicks off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday.
This is a pretty easy Roman numeral this year. L is 50.
Yep.
V is 5. And then 3. So it's LVIII, which would be 58.
Yep, there you go. And then 2 years we'll have 60. Sticking with the NFL, the Giants searching for a new defensive coordinator. According to NFL Network, the G-Men interviewed Minnesota Vikings defensive pass game coordinator Durante Jones for the position at the Senior Bowl in Mobile. They're also looking to speak to Brendan Daly of the Kansas City Chiefs, their linebackers coach, and a handful of other candidates. The Comets over the weekend losing on Friday at the Adirondack Bank Center to Toronto, the Marlies of Toronto, and they won in overtime in a shootout with the final score there, including those shootout goals, 6-5. Utica University men's ice hockey team, they got a couple of wins over the weekend, big wins, in fact, against King's College in Pennsylvania for both 9-0 on Friday, and Saturday they won by a score of 7-0. Bill, I got to tell you, I'm making an appointment to go see Dr. Tim Delmedico because in addition to my cruise, it kicked off with a half marathon, which I successfully completed.
You did. I forgot to and I checked on you Sunday, and you said all was good.
All was good, but
did you go onto the boat with a wheelchair? Or did you walk?
No, I kind of just hobbled.
On.
I kind of hobbled on.
But you did 13 miles.
13.1. Let's not shortchange it.
All right.
And shockingly, did it 4 minutes faster than I did last year, and I'm in a lot worse shape as far as physical. But I have to make one thing. I have to do is make an appointment with Dr. Tim Delmedico because this is the perfect opportunity for me to try Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. My foot is still killing me. My right foot, there's a tendon in it that is really bothering me, and this technology has a 90% success rate, so I'm going to go check it out. It's a cutting-edge technology that's not limited to common pain areas. It addresses neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, TMJ, and more. It's a swift and successful, again, 90% success rate treatment. It was developed in Germany, and it's made its way to Utica. It works by having high-speed sound waves stimulate blood flow and stem cells to the affected area that promotes natural healing. And if you've exhausted all other options in pursuit of relief, stop with the pills, the injections. If you don't want surgery, this could be another option. Reach out to Dr. Tim Delmedico at 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, or you can visit reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. You can see testimonials of people who have had the treatment. You can see what the treatment's like. And you can reclaim a life free from debilitating pain. Take that step towards a pain-free future today. It's reviveutica.com. So I will make an appointment to go and see him to get this tested out on the old foot, and I'll be able to report back my firsthand experience.
So I want to do a little quiz with you on preparing for future Super Bowls.
Okay.
So we are, what, LX. What are we right now?
We're LVIII.
III. So the V being 5.
Yep.
3 is 3 I's is 8. And we're at 58. What is the Roman numeral for 60?
Oh boy, is it LX?
It is LX for 70.
LXX
for 80.
LXXX?
I believe it is. Yeah, you're right.
I'm just kind of guessing at this
point.
No,
you're doing well.
Because X is the Roman numeral for 10.
LXXX will be the 80th.
And then the 100th Super Bowl.
But we'll go to the 90th. The 90th will be
LXXXX.
No.
Oh.
XC. XC. And C is 100. So Super Bowl C will be 100. Super Bowl, if you go back to how did you get 90? XC. So that is actually C minus X. So 100 minus 10.
Yeah.
But for 80, it's triple X.
I'm starting to get a lesson on Roman numerals here that I think will be.
You're not starting to. I just gave it to you. I mean, you've
crash
got
course.
Now I'm going to give you a B. I think you got a B plus.
Thank you. I think I did all right.
B plus. You did it really well right up till 90. You did really well. Got a break. Coming up, Sheriff Rob Machel in studio. We'll talk about how do they get contraband into the jails? How is this happening? Also, later on, Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine. And that is going to be interesting. We'll get to it coming up at WIBX.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Looking for a new career? Liverpool Pool and Spa wants to hear from you at their brand new location on East Dominic Street in Rome, where they're hiring full and part-time installers, service techs, and retail sales with plenty of room for advancement. Good pay, great work culture, and just a fun place to work. It's more than just a job, it's a career. Plus, you get to create people's backyard oasis. They'll train the right people, and you can apply in person at Liverpool Pool and Spa, 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome. Don't just dream it, live it.
The Fed is setting a digital dollar control trap. The new FedNow system might sound modern and convenient, but the truth is, it's all about surveillance and control. Don't be fooled. Secure your assets right now with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Donald Trump, and in these times of uncertainty, I believe the best way to defend your savings is to use tangible assets, which is why I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Because gold has a 5,000-year track record as the ultimate guardian of wealth. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text HEDGE to the number 989898. That's HEDGE to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Hey, Fred F. Collis and Sons, cooling, heating, insulation in Yorkville, Rome, and Syracuse has you covered, and will do what you could do, exactly what we did, and come up with a home energy audit for your home. They offer it, and it's absolutely free. You call them, and they'll come into your home and go through and do some research as well and find out how your home was constructed, go to the era in which it was built, and dig in to determine insulation, where you might be your electric issues, where you might be losing money, where you might be wasting money, and they'll give you a report, and you can act on whatever you like. Maybe it's your furnace. Maybe, and of course, Collis can help you there. Maybe it's air. Maybe you're running something that is maybe an old refrigerator that is just not energy efficient, and it's costing you. These are all things that you can take away with the home energy audit, and then you act from there to save money. Fred F. Collis and Sons, they have you covered. In the listen, we're probably still going to get something really cold this winter. Winter is not over, even though we'll be 50 by the end of the week. But you just never know. But you know that Collis has you covered 24/7, on call to assist you with your home energy needs, with your heating. They have you covered. And last year, the coldest day of the winter was somewhere close to New Year's Day. And our furnace went down. Collis was there. Reach out today. Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation in Yorkville, Rome, and now located in Syracuse.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, let's talk about Davey's in studio right now, as a matter of fact, with his Islanders hat on.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Davey, you have questions. Go ahead. Hit me with your best shot.
So Saturday afternoon, you participated in the celebrity judge for the Joseph Michael Chubbuck wing thing. I wanted to know how
Wing-ding-a-ling.
It wasn't a wing thing. It was Wing Wars.
Wing Wars.
Central
How was
New York, the Chubbuck family. This is the Joseph Michael Chubbuck Foundation, which benefits cancer patients who are in financial need. And I just have to say that what they do is incredible. And you take tragedy and you try to do something good with it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph's mother, she's a big advocate for trying to get an answer to the issue that she faced with her family and what took her son, and she's done it in the best way possible, and she continues to fight.
Yeah. Well, her and her husband, they work hard for this event. It is a great event, and so with that said, first place public was Celtic Harp. As heard on the commercial, it's Celtic Harp. Second place, Ray Brothers. Third place, Crust Kitchen and Bar, which is located out on
They have great
Griffiths.
food.
Yeah.
Great food, right over by the Air City Lofts.
Celebrity judges, which is what we were, and Sheriff Maciel will be in a second. We'll talk about some of these. Celebrity judges, first place, Tony's of New Hartford. Second place, Celtic Harp. And third place, Piggy Pats. So I'm not. Here's the problem. I don't know what any of this means because we didn't know. We didn't know who was who. We only knew by number. So we had no way to determine. I'd be better off knowing. Oh, this is the one that had the extra sauce on the side, or this is the one. There was one that was There were really good, unique wings. A lot with a lot of sauces, but there was nothing really. There was one wing that was more traditional, which was like a buffalo, but it came without any sauce, and you could dip it or pour the sauce on it. That one was really good.
Sometimes
I think that was my favorite.
I've learned that it's sometimes best to get them that way. If you're getting them and you're going to pick them up, get the wings.
And then do it afterwards, yeah.
With the sauce on the side, and then do your own sauce.
The most unique wing... First place was Pizza Boys, second, Hot Off the Brick, and third, Pizzeria Italia. Now, again, I don't know which ones they were, but I'm going to tell you. There was a peanut chicken wing.
Peanut butter or peanut?
Peanut butter. Peanut butter, sorry. There was, and I'm just going to be honest. I don't like peanut butter.
You don't like it in
I
general.
love peanut butter. On a spoon.
With chocolate chips?
On a sandwich with chocolate chips, or a big spoonful of peanut butter with a big spoonful of strawberry jelly. It's delicious. But as for peanut butter on wings or peanut butter on anything else, there are a lot of Thai dishes that use peanut butter. So these were kind of Thai wings. Anyway, they were very good. I'm not saying they weren't good. It's just not my cup of tea. They had a candy apple chicken wing.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I couldn't believe I didn't think I'd like it. Like, what kind of...
Had some caramel on it?
Who would know? It was more cinnamon with like a red sugary sweet sauce.
One of the restaurants I seen did a cinnamon toast crunch wing. Did you try
a cereal? Listen to this. It had cinnamon crunch cereal on it.
I'm sorry I missed this event.
I'm also shocked that I liked that one.
So
I really liked that. And it had cinnamon sugar, basically. And it basically crushed up the cereal and put it on there as part of the dusting. It was dusted with it.
So was this,
I was really surprised I liked that.
Was this event very similar to a lot of these other food competition things where the public can go and sample themselves?
Correct. And then that's why there was a public winner and there was a celebrity judges winner.
It was sold out when they were saying on the commercial, if you want to be on the waiting list, if anybody backs out, you had to call.
Sold out.
That's good.
Sold
if anybody
out
decided to
right as tickets went on sale, it was sold out. Yeah, it was really something.
Well, I'm glad the event was a success.
It was a great success, and I wish them the best. And they're a good family, and they're doing the best they can with tragedy.
Yeah, 100%.
Rookie of the year was Crust. That's out at the base. But there were a lot of good ones.
So that's the first time competing
Their first
in the
time,
event?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Celtic Harp was one of the, along with Rob Maciel. And the guy from that cooking show, Bill Pinchy, was there too. Some of the pronunciations.
So Maciel was a judge as well?
He was. So was
he's just pulling in now.
Griffo, Senator Griffo, and
get his
reaction. So was Marianne Buttonshaw. Of course, our guy from Notre Dame that played for Syracuse. Byron
Abraham.
Byron Abraham was a judge.
Nice.
And I think I got everybody in there.
Yeah, the Syracuse football days, back
Yeah.
in. Hopefully that will return to glory because the basketball team.
This is just awful. It is just terrible. Last night on the Grammys, there were some big winners. Taylor Swift won her 13th. I think it's the first time somebody has won Album of the Year 4 times. So there was some history around it. A talker, flipped the script on NFL fans who complained about having to watch occasional cutaways of Taylor Swift cheering for Travis Kelce. And this is how I'm not bothered by this. Although I saw somebody at the hockey game on Saturday night, and they're like, I don't care. I'm not with you. It bothers the daylights out of me. And I understand. It just doesn't bother me. She's an odd female.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift.
I think the big thing that people have
she has an
problems
interesting
with is
walk. Have you seen her walk?
No.
She's got I like to call it a good old-fashioned rural walk.
Rural walk.
Yeah, rural walk.
What is that, Sheriff Michelle? What's a
rural
rural walk?
It's a rural walk.
Rural walk?
Yeah, it's a rural walk.
It's like I don't know.
Like you've been working on the farm all day? I don't think she's working on the farm.
You wouldn't see the Queen doing the rural walk, I'll tell you.
She doesn't work as hard as Sheriff
Michelle. She has a bit of a rural
Michelle.
walk to her.
Man, I just couldn't get moving this morning. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Anyway, here's what the TikTok fan has to say about fans in the NFL all bothered by Taylor Swift. Here we go.
I was literally just watching the air show. I wanted to see Taylor Swift perform. And for a total of 20 seconds during the whole 3.5-hour performance, there were 20 seconds where it showed Travis Kelce. I was like, what? He was there supporting his girlfriend and cheering for her. And I was like, I don't even understand what he's doing there and why is it showing him? It's really not fair for us Swifties who have been fans of Taylor Swift for our whole lives. We wanted to watch her perform and the cameras just keep panning to Travis Kelce. It's just inconsiderate. When it comes down to it, he's ruining live music. I just feel like I couldn't ever even go to another concert again.
Yeah, just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You play football. Don't go to the Grammys. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Just think about it for a moment. Yeah. That's how stupid you sound when you're complaining about Taylor Swift at an NFL game. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous.
Well,
get over it.
A lot of the other players' wives don't get the attention.
She's a mega superstar. She made more money. Do you know she made more money than God?
And God.
I'm pretty sure.
Don't tell Will Fiacco that.
She's and the stories too about how she needs this to help her career. No, I think she's helped. She's helped the NFL's career.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think they got that backwards.
I think it's backwards. Sheriff Maciel, you are officially the meat and potatoes sheriff.
Yes.
There's no doubt about
Absolutely.
it. You like you like meat, you like potatoes, and you like your wings. Classic. Traditional.
Yes. You could tell people were actually looking because we each had a tray with 12 different compartments, I guess, where you'd set the wings as you got them. And the ones that were non-traditional, I don't even know if maybe I took a nibble out of them.
Yeah.
I gave it the smell test first, and if I smelled And again, I mean, some people love them. I just don't. When I smell like peanut butter or if I smell candy apple, I love them both. I love peanut butter and I love candy apples, but
mixing them with
not
chicken.
on my chicken.
Not
wings.
on chicken.
Yeah.
I was unbelievably surprised because, a lot of times you'll get a chicken wing, especially with Chinese or Thai, where it has a sweet sauce.
Yeah.
And so the candy apple thing, it's not something I would order, but it really wasn't bad at all. And the cereal one really surprised me. Sheriff
and I felt bad because I went around and talked to the different people that made them, and I know most of those people, and I like them all. And I'm like, so what'd you think of our wing? And I'm like,
it's not wing.
Well, it's
so in a way.
I like the stuff on the wing, and I like the wings. I just don't like them together. How's
Who
that?
was the celebrity judges picked Tony's of New Hartford?
I don't. Which
one was that?
I don't know. Number 5 and 6 were my favorites.
Those were my
I don't remember
favorites
who
as
they
well.
were, though.
You almost kind of want to see. I mean, there should be if there was a different category where they wanted to bring in something creative. But if you're talking wing wars, wouldn't you want to put everybody's like medium or hot buffalo wing up against each other?
Well, what they did, what they said last year, is try to bring something new and creative, and that's what everybody did.
They tried to do that because they have that one category, most
creative.
Most
so,
creative.
do you remember who won? So, on most creative, the winner was celebrity judges was Pizza Boys.
Pizza Boys. That was the cereal one.
That was the cereal one.
That was the cereal
one.
one.
Most creative.
Yep.
I gotta say, I know you hated it, but I
That's
liked
a strong
it.
word.
You didn't.
I disliked it. I disliked.
But you're a good judge in that you see. I hate it when people say that's terrible. Right. You never said that. No. You say it's not my thing.
I mean, the one that had the sauce on the side. That was actually really good without the sauce.
I liked it.
Just
I liked
without
it.
the sauce.
Yeah,
I
really liked it both with and without.
Yep.
The sauce was a little spicy, and I did like it.
Yeah, I love how you say it's not terrible. It's just I wouldn't eat that wing if it was the last wing in town.
Right.
But I think that's fair.
The one thing I did learn about some of my fellow judges.
Yeah.
Man, a couple of them guys could clean those flats off
know.
like it was like 2 sticks left.
My fiance's brother, he's got this
God.
method where he slides it off.
I've never seen anything like it.
I had to pace myself. I just took one bite
That's
out of
all I
every
did
one.
because then you're going to get full after the first.
Do you know though how I picked my winner? Was there was only one wing. I ate the whole thing, and it was the one that had
Probably
the sauce on the
5 or
side.
6, yeah.
It was 5 or 6, one of those.
Yep.
So, but that was great, and the cause is
Cause
awesome.
was awesome, and the family does a great job, and I've done that for several years, and it's I always look forward to it.
Yeah. So. I'm sorry to drag you into this.
Sure.
But I do want to ask you if there is a worry. We had Fiacco, who is running, wants to run for Senate, tells us today he's not sure what he's going to be doing. It might actually be that he runs as an independent, not a Republican, because he said the Republicans endorsed Joe Griffo, but the endorsement doesn't change whether you can run in the primary. You can still run.
Yeah. Right.
But his statement, civil war is coming, and it's going to take all Republicans and conservatives to arm up and prepare to take the lives of their liberal neighbors. Democrats aim to destroy this country and those that love it here. We will fight back, and we will win.
Well, first off, that's as a law enforcement official, that's very concerning, extremely concerning. And I'll leave it at that. But
so
very concerning.
Are there groups that we have here in upstate New York and in the region that are possibly preparing that worry?
Well, I mean, obviously,
keep law enforcement up at night.
I mean, when people make public statements like that, it definitely gets the attention of law enforcement, and then law enforcement has a difficult job of determining, do we need to watch this closer? Do we not have to worry about this person? Do we? So I mean, we take those things on a case by case basis,
yeah.
and technology has certainly helped us, made things a little bit easier, but. I mean, there are people in the country that are, obviously being watched a little bit closer just because of some of the concerning things that they publicly say, and I guess someone saying something and then someone saying something with confidence, are two different things.
I have to say that and to be fair, he said, I don't want this to happen,
right?
But I feel that's where we're going, and if we're going there, we're going to have to be prepared to kill, is what he said.
Yeah, again, people need to be very careful about what they put out there because it can be looked at, and like I said, in a few different ways, and certainly can cause a lot of concern and a lot of attention. I guess on the other side, as a Democrat, I'm offended by that. I've been a Democrat since the age of 18, and I'm 55 now. But I know I'm a little unique because obviously my values, for the most part, don't always line up with the Democratic Party. I have a different reason why I'm a Democrat.
You're a conservative Democrat.
Yeah, 19,000 votes on the conservative line, the most any single candidate has ever gotten in Oneida County history.
On the conservative
line, correct. So it's I'm a little different, but still, he puts me in that by just making that mere statement. He's putting me in that category, and I take great offense to that.
Well, and it's it's dangerous statement either way, but especially as somebody who's looking to possibly be hold a
leader in state government.
Yeah.
I sure, and how serious is he about that? I don't know, but when you make statements like this, it's going to be very difficult for any group to want to support him when he makes statements like that because those are dangerous things to say.
Yeah,
and you have to be. You don't say those things.
I want to switch gears. Let's go back to the ice. Now, I can't imagine there's anybody out there thinking this is a good time to go out on the ice right now.
Sure. No, there are people.
There are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What
and
are
as
they
the week
thinking?
goes on, I know we're going to have a week of sunshine, and we're going to get into the 40s, maybe 50. It's going to be very concerning. There are some I've done a lot of ice fishing in my younger years with my dad. My dad loved ice fishing.
Yeah.
I won't use the word that you just used a few minutes ago. I greatly dislike ice fishing.
Okay.
I enjoy fishing in July on the boat.
I know.
Instead of when it's 20 below zero out in the middle of Oneida Lake and you can't find your way back to the shore because it's a total whiteout. But a lot of people enjoy it, and it's a great recreation. But you've got to know the thickness of the ice. You've got to have the proper equipment. You got to have proper safety equipment. You can go to various websites and you can get an idea of how thick lakes are.
It's also important to know, and I'm not an ice fisherman, but I've been on ice in the wintertime. It's also important to know where there's current.
Absolutely.
That's a very important
huge difference.
thing. Yeah.
Huge difference when the water's underneath, is whether it's moving or not. And again, and when people go out when they shouldn't be out there, not only are they putting their lives at risk, but now they get trapped out there. Now we're putting the lives of first responders at risk.
Yeah.
We have multiple. We're very fortunate here. We have multiple Swiftwater, not only Swiftwater, but regular water rescue teams. But folks got to take a few minutes and just make sure that it's safe wherever it is you're going, because obviously fishing in the Adirondacks is a little bit different than ice fishing. Down here somewhere.
All right. Well, I just cannot imagine even thinking about going on the ice right now. I can't believe
there's still a lot of ice fishermen. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Well, and snowmobilers too. You could get probably some that are experienced that know when to.
Again, you get into the Adirondacks, and the ice is going to be a lot thicker, and you'll be snowmobiling across the lakes.
But you may get somebody unfamiliar with the geography, coming from out of state.
Typically, that's what happens when we have snowmobile accidents. We say it every year. I do a press conference every year. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office, they do a press conference every year, trying to remind people of the various safety things that you need to be aware of. But there's always someone who, and again, we don't have the traditional winters that we used to have. So you're not on your snowmobile every single day. So a lot of people only get out on their sleds a couple times a year. Snowmobiles today come out of the crate going 125 miles an hour. If you're one of those weekend warriors who's only on them, a few times a season, trail conditions, because of the lack of snow, are very icy where they are open. Most of our trails in the entire county are closed just for lack of snow, but you get farther up north, there are trails, lots of ice. If you don't slow down on curves, guess where you're going? Into the trees. And then when you're out snowmobiling, I know the fatal that they had recently, it occurred 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm home halfway through my night's sleep here or more.
Nothing good is going to,
No, and it's tough, but again, people really got to take safety into account when they're going out. It is a great recreation for our region. I feel really bad. I've been talking to a lot of businesses.
Terrible.
They don't know how they're going to
awful.
make it because we have such a short summer season, and now we're going to have it's followed up by a very short winter season. So it's going to be challenging.
And I have friends who will go out on a snowmobile and travel all the way, way up north, and they know where to stop. There's lodges and all the.
Yep.
It's just gone right now. The ability to do that today.
People are really struggling.
Yeah, and the businesses that rely on that, you got to feel for them. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about is contraband coming into Oneida County Jail.
Yep, contraband coming.
It's amazing how this is happening.
People are very creative coming into jails and prisons across this country, but the way we're trying to deal with it, probably our biggest challenge a few months ago was contraband coming into regular mail. They'd either sneak it into an envelope or a letter, sneak it into a package. They would actually get creative and use synthetic spray onto paper, and then they would consume the paper. So you think you're getting a letter, but it's actually been sprayed with synthetic drugs. So what we did to stop that, our mail no longer comes to our jail. Our personal mail no longer comes to our jail. It's mailed to a company in Albany who screens it first. They scan it, and then they email it to the inmate, and they can read their mail on their tablets.
So they don't ever physically.
So they never physically have it in the facility. So that cut down. That was a significant help for us. Now, legal mail is treated differently. Legal mail, it's mail typically from attorneys to inmates. That mail has to be delivered to the inmate, has to be opened in the presence of the inmate, and then we have to, obviously, we could still copy it, but we have to open it in the presence of the inmate. If you remember several months back, while doing that, someone had located a local attorney's envelope to disguise it as legal mail, comes into the inmate. While two of our officers are opening the mail, they were exposed to fentanyl. And obviously we had to send them to the hospital, the two corrections officers. So that's still a little bit of a challenge for us, but we now have an MX, it's called an MX95 device that the county executive along with the health department purchased for us. We're able to scan the mail on the outside to see if there's something on the inside. So we're able, and we have. Yep.
Can you tell me with fentanyl, and I don't know anything about this drug except that a small amount can be lethal. Is it addictive? Is it a substance that I've heard someone an addict say, "Boy, the one time I smoked crack cocaine, I craved it for the rest of my life."
It's the same concept. That initial
so
high that you get, for the person exposed.
Let's say you have the person. Let's say you're a corrections officer. You've been exposed to it. Right. Are you now? Do you now? You don't.
No.
Okay.
No. The challenge we're having now, because fentanyl, Narcan works phenomenal with heroin. But Narcan is now blocked potentially, but with the use of fentanyl. It doesn't work with fentanyl. That's why we're having to give fentanyl 4, 5, and 6 times to a person to actually bring them back. Narcan to reverse the effects
of fentanyl.
Wow.
Of fentanyl.
So it does not work well with fentanyl.
It does not necessarily work well with fentanyl.
Wow,
so there is another. There are some. There is a vendor out there that has a product that will work better or will work with fentanyl. They're going through the process now with the health department, state health, to get it certified. But again, fentanyl is deadly. I mean, last year alone in this country, law enforcement seized 386 million doses of fentanyl. That's just what law enforcement seized. 10% of it was seized in New York. So that's 38 million doses of fentanyl was seized in New York. That's enough to kill every man, woman, and child in the state of New York.
Yeah.
We seized, law enforcement seized in 1 year together, federal, state, and local. Then obviously the other ways, getting back to the topic here, narcotics coming into the jail, people will consume it. And again, we have visitation. We have to allow people to visit their loved ones. So many times, and New York State is the only state left in the country where they mandate a kiss on the lips at whether it's beginning or departure of the visit. So a lot of times a drug will be passed through a kiss. Yeah. And then it's retrieved later in the day from the toilet, which is a high risk for obviously the person consuming it. And if it breaks open while it's in their system,
it could kill them.
Yeah. The other day, obviously we did have an arrest. A corrections officer detected an odor, was concerned about it. We brought in Bo, who's our German short-haired pointer drug dog that's assigned to the jail.
Saw this, yeah.
And Bo located the area in the cell where it was. The item was located.
That was marijuana, right?
That was marijuana, which
Yeah.
obviously still is contraband in a correctional facility.
Sure.
But
Even though it's legal in New York, you
Yeah.
still can't smoke it in jail.
Yeah. Well, you can't smoke anything in jail.
Right.
And I mean, even tobacco would be considered
Right,
contraband
right.
coming in
Yeah.
the facility. But we were able to make an additional arrest on the person that was incarcerated for that. So, I mean, it's a challenge every day, and people get more creative, each way.
How talented a lot of these people are. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
When you
I
think
could
about
give you
it.
the details of this other case. I'd rather not share that on the air.
All right.
But no, they're. I mean,
so
it's,
the message is really that things are you're trying to stay one step ahead.
we are trying, but it's very challenging.
Yeah.
And it makes the job of a corrections officer extremely difficult. But they do a great job, and like I said, every day working long hours. We're trying to fill our vacancies up there.
Is there an improvement there?
No. I mean, we've been consistently hiring people, but we have people retiring on a regular basis.
Can't keep up.
There's over 40 jails in New York State that are at critical staffing levels. And, It's I don't know where everybody went. And we talk about that all the time.
And your opinion on the talk of the possible, obviously this would not affect Oneida County Jail, but the possible closure of another prison or a couple.
It's frustrating because, well, couples on both sides of this. I mean, obviously, they're facing staffing shortages. Officers are getting assaulted, whether it's state prison, county correctional facilities. Morale is very difficult in all these facilities for those things put together, and now it's just going to be multiplied when they start closing facilities. Because I mean now, and it just doesn't make any sense. And again, it goes into the whole mix of people aren't being held accountable because the less prisons we have, the less cells we have, therefore the less people we can put in jail. And I don't know where the direction of where we're going here. I don't like what I'm seeing.
I do wonder if we're in a situation where all of a sudden, somebody said this a couple years ago when bail reform first went into play, is that it won't be until this starts hitting home to those people in the legislature from New York City that they'll understand. But this latest situation where, number one, these migrants attacked police officers.
7 people assaulted 2 police officers,
and they were
one of them gets held.
One
6
was held.
were released,
and 4 of them.
4 of the 6 are in California.
They took off.
Used fake names. They don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
They used fake names. And it's just that's my point. It's a very dangerous path that we're going down.
And I wonder if this will be enough for these state representatives in New York City to look at themselves.
No, because
and say
if you
we're
look
wrong.
at the law they just passed, now they're requiring NYPD, City Council, they're requiring NYPD to fill out a form to track every encounter they have with citizens out on the street. Every conversation,
even if it's not even an arrest,
even if it's just a conversation.
Like if I was a tourist and went to a cop and said, "Hey,
I need to get as much information from you as possible," and obviously you don't have to tell me who you are, but they're looking for names and dates of birth and race and all that stuff. And if the people refuse to tell you who they are, you still have to fill out as much of the form as you can. That was actually passed by the city council. Mayor Adams vetoed it. The city council overrode his veto. It is just the volume of work alone. I mean, NYPD, and I debated someone the other day on this topic, so I know these numbers. NYPD, they take 9 million calls for service a year. That's 24,000 calls a day. That's 1,000 calls an hour coming into their 911 center. Now we want to add this on top of of everything else that they're doing. The police department in New York City, they download, and I'm not a computer guy, but they download daily 3 terabytes of data a day.
Wow.
Not counting this new form that the 36,000 police officers are going to have to fill out every time they have a conversation with someone.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable what they're doing. They are crippling and choking that police department.
They do not. These are people that do not understand.
They don't
at all.
They do, but they don't care. I think because they're not dumb people. They're intelligent people.
It's almost like
they
they're
don't
trying.
listen. I don't think they care.
It's almost like they're trying to impede the productivity of the police department. Yeah. Sheriff, we appreciate the time as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a box, parting gift, a box of cinnamon toast chicken wings for you. You're gonna love them. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a break. All right. Coming up, we'll speak with Samira Al-Sadi, and I'm sure I'll be corrected, from the Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine. They want a conversation. Recently had a demonstration. We'll talk with Samara coming right up next to WIBX.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs and cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. Are you a veteran, active duty military, or already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When Freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to American Pie of Rome this Thursday morning starting at 8. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Go to American Pie of Rome on Black River Boulevard for the area's best pizza, wings, subs, and more. See their menu on Facebook.com/American Pie Rome, New York, or call 315-371-0026. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates from American Pie of Rome. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Right now, save on Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles at Steve Ponte Mazda, where they only select the best of the best late model Mazda vehicles for you to choose from. They offer award-winning Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, 160-point inspection, and the 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Ricky Z says, hey, did you hear the new Billy Joel song? Love it. You ought to hear Ricky play it. It's incredible. He also says if you need a lower price or payment, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle and see why their customers always say it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, good morning. I don't know if you saw over the weekend, there was I believe it was over the weekend, there was a demonstration from the Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine. And this has been obviously something I've talked about, and there is a difference. I realize the anti-Semitism word is being thrown around, but if you're marching and calling for the death of Jews, you're an anti-Semite. But if you're not necessarily in support of the war, that could very well be a policy dispute that you have with the war. It doesn't make you an anti-Semite. However, we're throwing that word around a lot right now. Samira Al-Sadi is, first of all, do I pronounce your name? I'm sure I butchered it, but good morning.
You actually did well. Samira Al-Sadi.
Al-Sadi, Samira Al-Sadi. So, Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine, what do you represent, and are you bothered that some people are saying that your group is anti-Semitic?
Well, absolutely. And so the whole point of our event this past week was to kind of clarify where we stand as not only for myself as a Yemeni Muslim American, but we had a Palestinian speaker, and we had multiple Bosnian speakers who survived the genocide in the 90s. So the Mohawk Valley Freedom for Palestine is has nothing to do with being anti-Jew. It's freedom for Palestine. And Palestine, before 1948, it was a state that had Muslims, Christians, and Jews coexisting, and not just coexisting and tolerating each other, but flourishing as a community. So when we talk about freedom for Palestine, we're talking about freedom for everyone that exists there, and also for freedom for the Palestinians who are in diaspora to be able to come back and live equally next to Jews and Christians that are there. So to say that we're anti-Semitic, and we did cover this in our panel discussion, is anti-Semitic is a term that originated in Europe, and Jews were persecuted in Europe. They did live horrible conditions. The Jews in the Arab and Muslim world actually were under the protection of Islam, and I know a lot of people argue, that while you were under protection in Islam, you still had to pay a tax for it, and that is true. But Muslims have to pay a tax that is not required of other faiths. So if you were a Jew, yes, you paid for your protection, but we Muslims have zakat and sadaqah, which is a form of tax that goes back into our community. So this persecution of Jews did not exist in the Muslim and Arab world. And even during the Holocaust, the mosques in the European world protected Jews. They hid Jews. So to call us anti-Semitic because we have an issue with a political movement that calls for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians is contradictory, and I feel like it even does a disservice to Jews to throw that word so loosely, because it loses its value.
So what do you, one of the things that I've seen in this debate is people talking about the fact that Hamas was basically the choice for government, whether it was imposed on them or not. It's a choice for their government in Gaza, and as a result, after the attack on innocent Jewish members, which happened back in October, that this is simply, as terrible as it is, it's an act of war against that government until Hamas is destroyed. Not necessarily Palestinians are destroyed. But you don't see it that way?
I don't. So we have to give Hamas a little bit of a context. Hamas existed 40 years after the occupation of Palestine, 40 years after many attempts to create a Palestinian state, to allow them to have a country where they can govern themselves as they should. Every nation, every group of people should have the right to govern themselves without occupation and apartheid laws that segregate them, to humiliate them. So we have to allow Palestinians to do that. So when you don't give them a peaceful platform to gain their freedom, then you're leaving nothing but violence for them to resort to. So that is not to justify what happened on October 7th, but I also want to talk about the fact that history did not start on October 7th.
Right.
There's we're looking at 75 years right now of occupation, and we still don't know all the facts of what happened on October 7th, because all the information that we've gotten is from Israel. And we've seen through videos that came later on, there's a huge propaganda. There's a lack of evidence. And when an international body asks for a independent investigation into what happened on October 7th, they were called anti-Semites.
Do you feel
facts right now?
Yeah. Do you feel that what happened on the 7th didn't really happen that way?
I don't think that the information we have is what really happened. So,
but you have independent journalists.
Example.
You do have independent journalists on the ground, even from countries like the United States, who photographed and videotaped what happened there, and I haven't seen anything to the contrary.
So they mentioned 40 beheaded babies. There's no evidence of 40 beheaded babies. They
I see.
mentioned
Okay.
women that are gang raped, and there is no
I
evidence
understand.
of
Okay. And to be honest with you, this is always this does happen in war, where governments tend to they project certain things that may or may not have happened. I find myself as just a consumer of the news, oftentimes wondering, and until there's proof, you wonder how much is actually true, or if it is exaggerated. But you cannot take away from the fact that they attacked innocent Israelis, innocent Jews, and then took them hostage. There's no denial of that.
No. That's so okay.
And ultimately death.
Well, and one question I do have, and I just want to get this in: do you believe that Hamas is a terrorist organization?
I don't think you realize how offensive that question is to myself. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. To me, because it minimizes the Palestinian suffering to an organization or a day. So, like I said, if we want to talk about what happened and if this is justified or if what's going on is proportionate or what, if we want to talk about any context of this conflict, we have to look at the history of Palestine. We have to look at the events that led to October 7th, and we have to look at what has happened since October 7th. Now, for example, you're talking about hostages that are taken, but was anybody frustrated or angry on October 6th when there were thousands of prisoners in Israeli prison and with no trial, no conviction? Those are hostages. When we're talking about a siege on Gaza for 16 years, where the amount of food, the calories are counted, and that's how much food is allowed in. When we're talking about water supply being redirected and controlled, when we're talking about medicine, when we're talking about inhumane conditions, and then we want to turn around and say, well, is Hamas a terrorist organization? Again, the international world abandoned Palestinians and left nothing but for extremism to occur. So I feel like the international world has its hands on that too. And as far as what happened on October 7th, again, our original numbers were, I think, 2,000 people that were killed. And then that came down to 1,400. And then it came down to 1,200. And now we're down to 950. And half of them are military. So, and based on international laws, that they are not part of a protected, protected members. So for Hamas to attack a military base, that is within international laws. Now, you want to talk about peaceful actions. Let's talk about from March 2018 until December of 2018, I think maybe even January 2019, where Gazans walked up to the apartheid wall, which is 400 miles long and twice as high as the Berlin Wall. And they walked in because they wanted to get to the other side. They wanted to go back home. They are part of the diaspora from 1948. And they were met with snipers from the Israeli side. Yep. No weapons, no Hamas, and yet they were met with snipers. And hundreds died and thousands injured. And when we talk about injuries, we're not talking about like scraped knees. We're talking about amputations and paralyzed and, lifetime injuries.
All right. I'd like to do this further if we could and get you back on the air.
And for the record, I did not mean to offend. It's just
I think it's
my ignorance of, I guess,
still,
your
I think
position,
it's a fair question in terms of what's going on in the news, I would say. What about the Houthi insurgency? Your thoughts there? I mean, they're attacking ships. We're now responding, both the U.S. and Britain. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think what the Houthi rebels are doing is probably the most humane action against war, which is the fact that they are putting more value to life than they are putting value to cargo. I feel like with the Ukraine and Russian war, everybody was, ready to sanction Russia for its actions, but it's the same is happening here with Palestine and Israel.
All right, I hate to stop you there, but I'm almost out of time. And then finally, where are you from? Are you local? Do you go to school here?
I am local. I'm in the Utica area. Yes.
All right. I'm going to have Andrew schedule this to get you back on because I'd like to talk more with you. And I appreciate your time. And conversation is always important, I think. So let's do it again, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks so much. WIBX Utica Rome.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York. With 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate, you can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Looking for a new career? Liverpool Pool and Spa wants to hear from you at their brand new location on East Dominic Street in Rome, where they're hiring full and part-time installers, service techs, and retail sales with plenty of room for advancement. Good pay, great work culture, and just a fun place to work. It's more than just a job, it's a career. Plus, you get to create people's backyard oasis. They'll train the right people, and you can apply in person at Liverpool Pool and Spa, 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome. Don't just dream it, live it.
The IBEW Local 43 and the National Electrical Contractors Association have been a part of Central New York for over 100 years. The IBEW state-of-the-art training facility offers classroom instruction as well as everyday on-the-job construction training. From the Carrier Dome to our local hospitals, malls, schools, and city buildings, Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 will continue to help light, power, and grow our community.
IBEW Nika.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, he's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy, you feel fine, but that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Since it doesn't always cause symptoms, you may not know you have it. The only way to know is by getting screened. Screening can find precancerous polyps, so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. This is one cancer you can prevent. Plus, screening can find colorectal cancer at an early stage when the chance for a full recovery is very high. Talk with your doctor and get tested for colorectal cancer. Medicare and many insurance plans help pay for screening. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.